Thank you all devotees for joining, especially Manu Prabhu, Patita Pawan Prabhu, and all the devotees from all over the world. Thank you again for joining the Ishtagoshti and providing your associations. So we'll be conducting the Narasimha Chaturdashi Ishtagoshti, even though Narasimha Chaturdashi happened about 2 weeks ago. The online preparations and there was a few delays, so we'll be having it now. So for the first part, we'll be having the Kirtan by Jani Prabhu. So he'll be singing the Narasimha Pranam, followed by the Hare Krishna Kirtan. So thank you very much once again, Jani Prabhu, for willing to participate and provide your association, even though you're going through a difficult time. So once you're ready, you can start, Prabhu. So thank you once again. Hare Krishna.
Let's begin. Om
No
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Guravani Placharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashitya Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadar Vasari Gaura Bhaktarini Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Narasimhaya Dadayine Dadayine Hiranyakashipu Daksha Hiranyakashipu Daksha Shiratankanakarai Shiratankanakarai Ito Nashima Parato Nashima Ito Nashima Parato Nashima Yato Yato Yamitato Nashima Yato Yato Yamitato Nashima Vahi Nashima Hidaye Nashima Vahi Nashima Hidaye Nashima Narashima Madev Sharanam Prabhaje Narashima Madev Sharanam Prabhaje Avakala Kamala Bali Nakabuta Shingam Garita Inam Yakashipo Tano Bringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Avakara Kamala Vare Naka Dashinga Darita Iranya Kashipu Tanu Venga Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Keshavadita Narari Rupa Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Jaya Bhakta Prada Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gauri Haribol, 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 Nitai Gauri Nitai Gauri Haribol, Haribol, Nitai Gauri Nitai Gauri Haribol. Haribo Nitai Gola Haribo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Nitai Gora Haribol 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 Nitai Gora Haribol Jai Namasankirtan ki Jai Shila Prabhupada ki Jai Ola Premanande Hari Hari Bol Shri
Hari Hari
Vasadev
Bol. Jai.
Jai All glory is to the assembled devotee, Hare Krishna. All glory is to the
Hare
assembled devotee, Hare Krishna. All glory is to the assembled devotee, Hare Krishna. All glory is to the Prabhupada ki
Jai.
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 Thank you so much. Very nice.
Jai.
Much Prabhu.
Hari Bol. Thank you very
Hare
much.
Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhu ji, Dhanavad Pranam, Jai Prabhupada, very ecstatic kirtan, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna,
Jai
Prabhu.
Prabhu ki Jai.
Very cool.
Hare Krishna.
He
Thank you so much,
Sakshanam
Prabhu.
All glory is to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Bhakti Prabhu, all this Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
All glories to all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me for this program. People happy to see so many Vaishnavas bright face video on. Wow, good to see like that. Okay, so we have Manu Prabhu, Patita Pawan Prabhu, Kartik Prabhu, Srikant Prabhu, Veron Prabhu, Pravish Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu, Dharani Prabhu, and Shivraj Prabhu, Sami Prabhu, Patita Pawan Prabhu, Jenny Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? I think I can see only Krishna on the screen. Hare Krishna. All glories to all of you. Nice Kirtan. Welcome for Narasimha Chaturdashi celebration. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Nice Kirtan, Prabhu. Very fired up, ecstatic.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I'll do it outdoors. So everyone was dancing. There is some people we were dancing. So yes. Jai Shila
Now?
Prabhupada.
Right now?
Yes, yes. I'm outdoor now. So there are some people who came across and just dance. So yes, I was very happy. I can do Harinam in the same time. So yes, it's very great. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Nice.
Thank you so much for joining, Prahlad Prabhu, despite your busy schedule, temple construction, and all other seva. Thank you again for joining, Prabhu. Thank you all devotees for joining as well. So we have devotees from Dubai, from Philippines, from Canada, from Australia, from Austria, from India, of course. Yeah. And from Reunion Island. So it's very, very, very nice to have all the associations. So thank you once again, Prahlad Prabhu, for joining. So for the next session, it's the artwork. So this time the artwork has been presented once again by Drona Prabhu. So even though he was not feeling so well this past week due to some health issues, he has still nevertheless drawn a very beautiful painting for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas.
Nice. Very beautiful.
And he would like me to read a verse which actually motivated him to draw this painting on his behalf. So he was reading this verse and he actually felt very much nice or inclined to draw this painting. So, and he told me to read it on behalf of him because his internet is not good. So I will just read it here. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimha Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle in this material world. Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18:8 translation. So this is what motivated him. Very beautiful drawing, Prabhu.
Very merciful face of Narasimha, and very, as the name goes, Prahlada look like real Prahlada. Hlada means the one who is always in transcendental happiness. Prahlada. So his face also looks completely protected. You see, this is how the devotees are. And the devotees are sitting at the lap of the Lord. They feel completely, free from all the anxieties and fear. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, right? Vitaraha Bhaya Krodha, right? What verse it is? Verse number? What is the verse? It explains about that.
Are you talking about the one with be free from any sort of trying to take shelter and protection of material nature? That one?
256. You can go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 56. Is yeah. Read this.
One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind.
So the devotees have no fear, they have no anger, they have no attachment, and they are beyond the three modes of it, three kind of threefold miseries, and then they are not happy when the happiness comes. They are not sad when the problem comes. So that is why you can see the Prahlad Maharaj face is exactly perfectly fitting this verse. He looks very peaceful, and more than peaceful, he looks very protected. Very nicely, Drona Prabhu draw the picture. Yeah. So, and also Prahlad Narasimha also looks full of mercy personified. So all glory to Drona Prabhu for drawing this wonderful painting. He's not there now today. He's there.
No, Prabhu, he's there, Prabhu, but his Prabhu, he's there, but his no, Prabhu, he's there, but his the Wi-Fi is very slow because in his place there is some heavy rains. So because of that, he was unable to speak with clarity, Prabhu. But he's there in the meeting.
Oh, he's there. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, Prabhu, he's there.
Good. So, yeah, because I was the option of enabling only the show the non-video participants. I mean, disabled. That's why I could not see other devotees before. Aditya Prabhu, Dipanshu Prabhu, and Drona Prabhu. Oh, yeah, so many people are here. Rahul Prabhu, Namori Prabhu, Shubham Parman Prabhu. Hey, very good. Sham Govind Prabhu.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice drawing. Drona Prabhu, wonderful drawing. Keep it up. Very good.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Very Krishna. Very Krishna.
Sorry, I'm not understand.
What is it?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, I'm not understand.
Who is that?
No, it's Amari Prabhu. I think he misunderstood.
No.
Yeah. So, Jani Prabhu, could you just translate and tell him there is nothing much going on that he has to think about as of now?
Okay.
Prabhu is not here. Excuse me. It's good.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
Prabhu.
thank you.
Amari Prabhu, there's nothing. So thank you. All right. So thank you once again, Drona Prabhu. Even though Prabhu was actually very much sick this week, nevertheless he said, no, he wants to keep his mind engaged and he still wants to draw a nice painting for the pleasure of the Vaishnava. So thank you once again, Prabhu. And I hope you recover soon. Okay, so officially now we go for the pastimes. So
there is
we
a
have
message from Shivansh Prabhu also. I think no problem. You can take your own time and then you keep coloring it and then you can present it before the program ends. If it is late, you can present it next week also. So don't worry, Shivansh Prabhu. Just slowly do it. No issues. No problem. Yeah. Got
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. So Shivransh Prabhu, you can message me once you're done with your painting and I will try to arrange a slot for you. Or if you want to do it next week as Prahlad Prabhu advised, also you can do it. So thank you for your willingness to participate as well. So now we officially go to the pastime section, which is the main event of our Ishtagoshti. So the first pastime is Hiranyakashipu's austerities. So it will be presented by Sami Prabhu and it will be spoken by Patita Pavan Prabhu. So just one small note. So kindly, Patita Pavan Prabhu, since Sami Prabhu is presenting or sharing the screen, you can always tell him to scroll down when you have to go next, or if you want to zoom into any picture also you can. So Patita Pavan Prabhu, when you're ready, you can start. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees. So our presentation topic is Triumph of Devotion, the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Narasimha. So today we have gathered here online for a special Istagosti. This is a pastime of Narasimha Dev and his dear devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So why do we give importance to this pastime, especially this Narasimha? Even the Prabhupada also really like this chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7. So these pastimes are important for us, especially devotee, because not this pastime only, the other the pastime, Krishna pastime, are very important for us. So these pastimes are like Chaturdashi Marjana, means cleansing our uh, our heart from material condition and purify us from this material conditions. So these pastimes are just like one of the Krishna name, means Nava Yuvana, which means ever praise youthfulness. When we hear this pastime, we always feel praise. We don't feel like, yeah, we have heard many times every year or every lecture we hear this pastime. We don't feel like, okay, we have listened, but we always feel praise, and it is like youthful. We learn everything. We always learn something new every time. So I hope today this nectar of Narasimha Dev and Prahlad Maharaj pastime, uh, which uh, which teaches us devotees unwavering devotion, tolerance, forgiveness, faith in Lord protection, importance of early spiritual education, equality, humility, and most important is power of association. So let us begin this pastime now. Next
See the
slide.
famous.
Oh yeah. So our first slide is Jay and Vijay are brief synopsis. So this begins in Srimad Bhagavatam, as many years ago. There were sons of four sons of Lord Brahma. They are called Sanaka, Sanata, and Sanat Kumar. They desire
Okay.
to.
Result
They,
of
de- so they desire to go to Vaikunda planet, and they got amazed by the beauty of Vaikunda. So they try to enter the Vaikunda. They enter three doors, and at seventh door, when they try to enter, they were stopped by these two doorkeepers. You can see in the picture. First is Jay and Vijay. So when they stopped by these two doorkeepers, they got very angry. Why? Uh, just like the gopis, they got angry when they were angry at Brahma for creating the eyelids. Because when we hear when we close our eyelids for some second, we cannot see the Krishna. So they were blaming Brahma for creating even the eyelids. So on the same as Char Kumar, they got angry because they were stopped by these doorkeepers to see the Lord, because they wanted to enter the Vaikunth and see the Lord. So if we how we can understand, even the sages like these four, they got angry. So actually, Prabhupada is explaining here that they were got angry not because of their sense gratification. They got angry because they were stopped by seeing the Lord. So this is a devotee thinking. Okay, so after getting angry, they cursed these two doorkeepers, Jay and Vijay. They cursed them that you go to the material world and take birth there. So after getting cursed, they Jay and Vijay, they acknowledge their result, they acknowledge their mistake, and they started asking for compassion, because everybody is afraid of material world. Because Vaikunta, there's no any stress or tension or anything. They are doing the service of the Lord. But if we come to the material world, it is just like a prison. So they got scared and they asked for a compassion. Please, we acknowledge our mistake and we don't want to go there. So please, you are already given a curse. Okay, we will go, but at least give her a compassion. So when this was all happening, Lord appears there. Lord appears, and even the Lord also apologized these for Kumaras because they are Brahmanas. So, and Lord is already protector of Brahmana and his devotee. So Lord said, okay, I apologize for mistake of my devotee because Lord doesn't want a devotee to be appearance. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name Bhakta Paransyati. So this proved that Krishna doesn't want to uh, see their devotee suffer, or Krishna always want to protect them. So what happened next? When the Chaturdashi saw the Lord, they got compassion, and they didn't they were actually hesitant to speak in front of the Lord. So when Lord said, "Please forgive them," and I apologize for that, Chaturdashi and Lord said, "Okay, we still accept the curse, but at least uh, give them the compassion." So Charkumar said, "Oh, Lord, you are a supreme man, and you do whatever you like to do, and it will be okay for us too." So Lord, what did Lord say? Go to the next slide. Lord accept. Next slide. Lord accepted this cursing of servant and agreed that they would have to go to the material world, and they would then return to Vaikuntha after serving the term of the curse. Jay and Vijay were very much perturbed, but the Lord advised them to act as an enemy for them. They would return after 3 births. Otherwise, ordinarily they would have take 7 births. So they were given the two choices, being as an enemy for 3 births, or 7 births as a devotee of Lord. So they then Vijay and even the Lord also suggested that they would become enemy of the Lord, and in that way, an enmity, they would always remember the Lord. In that way, they will quickly come back to the Vaikuntha planet. So this is a position of a devotee. If for a second or for a moment they don't want to disassociate from the Lord, they always want the association of the Lord. So in this, see, Jay Vijay also agreed to be an enemy of the Lord, so they could come back to the Vaikuntha very quickly. Go to the next slide, please. So after coming to the material world, first birth they took as Inakasa and Inakasipu. They were the son of Kasapa Muni and the mother Diti. So Inakasapu was the elder son. So now before going to Inakasapu, we will just go to the brief of the Inakasa. The Inakasa was also the big demon, and what he did, he actually put the mother earth stone into the Garbhodasai ocean. And first, Supreme Lord appeared as a board and killed this demon Inakasa and put the earth back to the on the level of the ocean. So after getting killed by the Lord, Inakase got killed by the Lord. Everyone was praising the Lord, and this was avatar of Vada. Go to the next slide. We won't go deep into the Lord Vada avatar, because it will be the next presentation will happen when the Lord Vada appearance will happen. So now Inakasipu got angry after he got to know that his brother Inakasipu got killed by the Lord Vishnu. Okay, so now he thought that Lord and demigod took shelter of the Lord, and Lord took being biased to the demigod, and he killed his brother. He was not biased to demons. Why he thought like that? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Samoham Sarva Bhutesu. Means he is not envy to anyone. He is equal to all, right? He equal to all, whoever do service to him, he is a friend of him, and our Lord also friend of them. So demigods were the servants of the Lord. They took the shelter of Lord, and Lord saved them from the demon Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu got angry, and he thought of killing the Lord Vishnu, actually. He thought that he would kill the Lord, and then demigod also get defeated, and he will rule the all 3 worlds, upper, middle, and lower. So first, his plan was to give the instruction to his demon servants that go to the Mother Earth, and there you disturb the Brahmanas who are doing yagnas. Because when the yagnas happen, demigods get their strength from the yagnas. So it was his first plan. His first plan was to disturb the disturb the Brahmanas in the Mother Earth. And then the second plan was to kill the Lord Vishnu and drink his blood, actually. So this confirms the demons, uh, they eat non-veg flesh, and they drink blood. So, so why did another example Prabhupada here gives that just like a government, uh, the government does not favor to anyone, but who is citizen who is abiding the law, government gives special interest to them. So demigods were also like that. So he after giving the instruction to his demon servant, he began this austerity. How he was doing austerity? In the valley of Mandara Hill, Hiranyakashipu began performing his austerity by standing with his toes on the ground, keeping his arm upward and looking toward the sky. The position was extremely difficult, but he accepted as mean to attain perfection. From the air on, Hiranyakashipu had there and made it an effulgent light as brilliant and intolerable as the rays of the sun at the time of dissolution. Seeing the performance of such austerity apparent, the demigods who had been wandering throughout the planet now returned to their respective homes. So we can see from this picture how he was doing the austerity. He was not eating or drinking anything for so many years. He was doing tapasya for 100 heavenly years planet. Oh, 100 years of heavenly planets. So what is the calculation? It is like 6 months of our planet is equal to 1 year of heavenly planet. So we can imagine how many years we were doing the tapasya, austerity, without drinking or eating. He was losing his blood, he was losing his flesh, he was losing his body, and then blood also. Go to the next slide, please. Then, when the demigod got to know that Hiranyakashipu demon is doing this much tapasya, who is not done by even by anyone, so they got scared and they went to the Brahma, and they said to the Brahma that this demon is doing tapasya, he is disturbing us, and tomorrow when he gets his result from this austerity, he will rule the whole tree world. Maybe he will take your position. They also said maybe tomorrow he will conquer the Brahma Loka also. So Brahma, after hearing all this, he went to see this demon Hiranyakashipu doing a tapasya. When first he came, his actually when he came, he couldn't see the Hiranyakashipu because he was doing for so many years, and it was covered by all the angels. We can see in the picture how uh, it was all covered by angels, and he didn't even have uh, flesh on his body. He was just a skeleton doing the tapasya. So this was his first position. When Brahma found out that okay, here it is, he's covered by the angels. So Brahma did form it commander. He sprinkled some water and gave him his body back, and he became the demon became the youthful, and his body even got extended or by standing, like he can bear the strike from the thunderbolt also. So, so when Lord Brahma got this from his austerity, so uh, Brahma asked, "What do you want?" So he first asked for the mortality, but Hiranyakashipu knew that mortality is not possible, right? We can learn that even the Brahma also is not mortal; he has to die. Even though his living years are much more longer than us. So actually, thousands of yuga is equal to 1 day of the Brahma. So this many years he has to live, then he will die. But it is there from Brahma Loka to Patal Loka. Everyone has to die. This is sure. So what intelligent Inakasubu did, he asked for these boons. We can read now. Grant me that I not die within this residency or outside any residence during the daytime or at night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Grant me that that not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, not by any human being or animal. Grant me that I not meet that by any entity, living or non-living. Grant me further that I not be killed by any demigod or demon or any great snake from the lower planets. Since no one can kill you in the battlefield, you have no competitor. Therefore, grant me the benediction that I too may have no rival. Give me sole lordship over all the living entity preceding deities. Give me all the glories obtained by the position. Furthermore, give me the all mystic power attained by long austerity and practice of yoga, for these cannot be lost at any time. So why did he ask this many boon? Like why did he ask in this way? Because he knew that he can be killed by anyone. Maybe not in his house, or maybe he will go, because he wanted to control all the three world, upper, middle, and lower. He wanted to control them. So if you go elsewhere, you may be killed. That's why he asked not within any residence or outside any residence, daytime or night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Okay, he asked these main. Then he said, any death created by anyone created by you in this material world cannot kill me. Why? Because he knew that Brahma was the first entity in the material world. He created all the demigods and everything. So he said, anyone created by you cannot kill me. Then he said, animal also. Why? Animals, because he knew his brother got killed by the boar. Vishnu took a avatar of boar to kill his brother. So he knew he learned from his brother mistake. So he asked even animal also. So that's why he asked indirectly the mortality. So no one can kill it. Even a weapon also. Why weapon? Because he knew Lord Vishnu had chakra. Chakra, when the order is chakra to go kill anyone, the chakra will follow and kill the person there. So that's why he also asked the weapon. So after after all this, why women Brahma said that you did so much austerity, which no one can do it. So I'm pleased. Why is we are still calling him demon or daycare or rakshak? Why we are still calling it, even though no one can do this much austerity, right? So there Prabhupada is explaining that uh, even though he did so much austerity, but what he did it for himself. He did it for sense gratification. As other side, his own son, he did the little devotional activity and he got protection from the Lord. But he did a long time austerity, but he didn't get the that protection, which we will learn in the further slides. We will learn. So that's why Prabhupada said anything that you are doing for the sense gratification is uh, not gonna satisfy you, not gonna save you from the death also. So he got all this boon, and we can see the further what he did with this boon. He did not protect anyone. He actually started killing people. So Prabhupada also explains here. See, even when Asura do austerity, everyone get afraid. When devotee do a little bit of devotion, everyone gets saved and everyone feels safe from the devotee. So these are the mindset of Asura and devotee. And there they said there are two people in the world. One is devotee who is worshipping the Lord, and other one is non-devotee, which means Asuras, directly Asuras, nothing else. There are Asuras who are not worshipping a god. So now after getting the boon from Brahma, what he did, he began suffering the duties of demigod. Valleys and mountains became the field of Hiranyakashipu's sense gratification activity. Hiranyakashipu spent all his time and energy in transgressing the laws of Vedic scripture. So after he got so much power from this boon, he started torturing the heavenly planets. Even he took the planet of Indra, which is heaven. He started residing there, and any demigod were coming and they were serving this demon. They couldn't do anything. They cannot kill him. So he spent all his time, energy, transgressing the Vedic scripture. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that whoever is not abiding the Vedas, or they are not following the regulatives, they they fall down. Right, in ninth chapter it is there. The same, after getting so much power, he got his pride and uh, he started breaking the regulatives of the Vedas. So he became the ruler of the entire universe, which he always wanted: upper, middle, and lower. And he started uh, giving trouble to Brahmanas. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita says Chaturvarnam Maya system. There are four divisions created by the according to the karma. So Brahmanas are the first one. If Brahmanas are there, because Brahmana, they study Vedas and they uh, do yagnas, and from the yagnas result get by demigods, and in this way all the society live peacefully. So when we give trouble to the Brahmanas, the whole society become trouble. If there is no one doing the Indra Yagna, they won't get any rain, and if they won't get any rain, there will be a dried up. As we can see now, there's so much heat now. There's no rain coming, but there was some places where there was water and there was rain coming. Now it is totally dried up. No rain. From 1 year, there is no rain because they are not following the Brahman culture. Even though there are some Brahmas now there, but they are not doing proper. Everything is not pure in the Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the one Mahayagna for this Kali Yuga, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastev, Kalau Naste, Eva Naste, Eva Naste, Eva Gati Anata. This is a Yagna for this Kali Yuga. This Sankirtan Yagna was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a Kali Yuga Yagna. When we do this, everyone will get benefit from it. We don't have to do any other yagna that are being done in Satyuga. We get the same result as this yagna. So after torturing the Brahmanas, after killing protector of cows, if there's no protector of cow killings happening, slaughter happening, then there won't be any peace in the society, and demigods will also not get any benefit from all this, and they will get trouble. They will not get their strain, and eventually they will die. So even though he was getting all this power, he was still not satisfied. Why? Because he became the servant of his senses. Here, last point it is there. Despite his power, Hiranyakashipu remained dissatisfied due to his becoming a servant of his senses. Well, once he got the power of one thing, and then he was desire for another thing, then another thing, then another thing. More and more, his senses gratification was growing, and he was not getting satisfied. So this is just like a material condition, material people who desire for something, then they get another desire, then another desire, and then nothing else can satisfy him, because they are not connected to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. When they are not connected to God, they just they get disturbed, and there is no happiness in them. Even though there seems to happiness, but their happiness will not last for very long. They eventually get disturbed, and there won't be any peace with them. So this is how the we learn from this, that how much austerity Asura did, but still he was not getting any benefit from it. And now on the opposite side, his son, who will get born, and how this demigod and other will get saved from his devotion. We will learn from this, and I will give you the mic to Swami Prabhu, who will now give us introduction of Prahlad Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. So I'm going to be continuing with the topic of appearance and childhood pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj. So how things continued is that when Hiranyakashipu went to perform his austerities, then during that time, the demigods made a counterattack to the heavenly planets, trying to recapture them because they were under Hiranyakashipu's control. So there was the queen, Kayadu, who is the mother of Prahlad Maharaj, and she was pregnant, waiting for Prahlad Maharaj during that time. And he was arrested by King Indra, because King Indra was thinking there's a demon in his womb, so we must arrest and wait until the demon is born, then we can release. But then Narad Muni appeared there, he saw what was going on, and he cut it down, and he told that, no, in this woman's womb, there's a great devotee, that even if you try to kill him, you cannot kill him. So then Indra released Kayadu and Prahlad Maharaj. So they went to the ashram of Narada Muni. So in the Saint Narada Muni brought Prahlad and Prahlad's mother to his ashram and assured them all protection. So Kayadu desired the safety of Prahlad and wanted to give birth after her husband's arrival. So Prahlad Maharaj stood in his mother's womb for 100 celestial years. So years in heavenly planets. So really long time. During those 100 celestial years, Narada Muni delivered the instructions both to Prahlad, who was within the womb, and to Kayadu also, who was engaged in rendering him service. So because Narada Muni is naturally extremely kind to the fallen souls, him being in transcendental position, he gave them instructions on two topics, on religion and transcendental knowledge. And the transcendental instructions, heard from an authorized bona fide spiritual master like Narada Muni, are always free from any material contaminations. And they are, in fact, extremely purifying. So they are not just free from contamination, they are like counter, they remove the contamination. So it's really purifying. It is said that also, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So what to speak of 100 celestial years? Just imagine if one moment is such powerful thing. Prahlad Maharaj was 100 celestial years hearing. So I think that's why he's so strong devotee, because he was hearing so long time. Because of the long duration that had passed, and because of Prahlad Maharaj's mother being a woman, she forgot everything, because women are usually less intelligent and they are more easily under the influence of time, like forgetfulness and these things, the modes of material nation, like passion and ignorance. And that means easier forgetfulness, tendency to forget. But Narada Muni blessed Prahlad Maharaj, and therefore he could not forget any of the instructions, even by the influence of time. So when Prahlad became 5 years old, he was sent to the Asura Gurukul to become the greatest demon, because his father, Hiranyakashipu, he was the greatest demon. And when you have a son, you always want your son to succeed you, to become better than you. So Hiranyakashipu wanted Prahlad to become the greatest demon, who is the master of all sinful activities, politics, economics, all material activities like this. But they tried to educate Prahlad Maharaj in this subject for a long time, but Prahlad Maharaj, he did not care for their instructions. Instead, he continued to be a pure devotee instead. He was always peaceful and calm. Also in the drama, in the ISKM TV, there is a nice portion. It's shown that the teacher always says that, now please my, what is the word? Disciples, please say, Om Hiranyaya Namaha. But the Prahlad Maharaj instead always said, Om Narayanaya Namaha. So they got a little bit angry also, but he never changed his mood. Prahlad never liked the idea of discriminating between one's friends and enemies. So this is the main reason why he didn't like politics much, because in politics and in business and everything like this, you have to always differentiate. Oh, he's my friend, he's my enemy, he's gonna destroy me, I'm gonna avoid him. Oh, he's gonna help me, he's my friend. So this is going on always in this topic. So Prahlad didn't care for this, because as a person who is spiritually inclined, he is always equal toward everyone, not just friends. So in the absence of the teachers, when there was time that the teachers sometimes left the boys to be together. So there, Prahlad Maharaj begins to educate his demonic schoolmates about Krishna consciousness. First, they are not much interested, and they say that, no, Prahlad, please let's go ball instead. Why are you talking like this? That we want to play games, we are young children, let's play games. But Prahlad Maharaj explains them. They say that we can do this when we are older. So now let's not focus on such things. But Prahlad Maharaj explains to them that we are not these bodies, and these bodies are temporary. And since these bodies are temporary, and these bodies are the human form, it's short-lived, and it is actually the only tool for inquiring about Krishna consciousness properly, because you cannot really gain knowledge in the animal body. Even though Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made animals also devotees, but as that special case, in an animal body, you cannot read books. The difference between monkey and a human is that the monkey cannot read books. You can try anything, teach him anything, but if you give a book, he will never understand the book or be able to inquire why I'm a monkey, why he's a human, why I'm gonna die. They cannot do this. So human life is the only possibility, and it's very short-lived, because you don't know what hour you're gonna go. Maybe next hour, who knows? So all the time we should use properly, not wasting them. Then Prahlad Maharaj makes a calculation. He explains that every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years, but for one who cannot control his senses, half of those years are completely lost, because at night by sleeping 12 hours, being covered by ignorance. So 50 years goes by sleeping if one sleeps 12 hours a day. Even if one sleeps 8 hours a day, that is 30 years. So it's still a big number. Almost main portion of the life goes on sleeping. Then in the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, in the stage where your mother takes care of you and you cannot really properly move your limbs, or you cannot tell you're hungry, or that your back is scratching. So in 10 years is passed like that. You cannot do anything much. Then comes the boyhood, where we are engaged in sporting and playing different games. And we become really busy in those things. We think it's the most important thing. And sometimes 20 years go, even 10 years usually. So we become 20 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. And similarly, in an old age, when one is invalid, the last 20 years, unable to perform even the material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. One whose mind and senses are uncontrolled becomes increasingly attached to the family life, and because of insatiable lusty desires and very strong illusion, in such illusion, man's life, the remaining years are also wasted, because even during those years, he cannot engage him in devotional service. So the family life takes rest of the years. One has used 20 years in old age, being crippled, 20 years in yachts, that is 40 years, maybe 30 years, 40 years sleeping, already 80 years gone. So the rest, if one cannot control his senses, he's going to lose them in family life. In this way, what time one has to propagate Krishna consciousness if he doesn't start at young age? So this is what Prahlad Maharaj emphasized to them, that they need to start during this young age, or their opportunity will be completely lost. So with these descriptions, Prahlad managed to awaken their interest a little bit in hearing and increasing their faith and taking the subject matter seriously from their early stages of life. Oh yeah, I forgot to change this clip. So I was speaking about this one. Okay, here is one reference about this. One should not be very much interested in material enjoyment. Instead, one should be satisfied with whatever material profits are very obtainable, and this is important point. And because the duration of one's life is very short, one should utilize every moment for spiritual advancement. Here is the calculation given. So every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years, but one who cannot control his senses, half of those are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours, being covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years. In the tender age of childhood, when everyone is bewildered, one passes 10 years. Similarly, in boyhood, engaged in sporting and play, one passes another 10 years. In this way, 20 years are wasted. Similarly, in old age, when one is invalid, unable to perform even material activities, one passes another 20 years wastefully. One whose mind and senses are uncontrolled becomes increasingly attached to family life because of insatiable lust and desires and very strong illusion. In such a madman's life, the remaining years are also wasted because even during those years, he cannot engage himself in devotional service. Srimad Bhagavatam 7:6-6-8. So these were the Prahlad Maharaj instructions. So next page is about Summit of Wisdom. So first thing that is here is that faith is needed for realization of transcendental knowledge. So Prahlad Maharaj emphasized this in the beginning when he says, this is 7:17, where Prahlad Maharaj said about faith to his friend that if the friends can place their faith in his words, simply by that faith, they can also understand transcendental knowledge. So having faith is the key for understanding the knowledge. And that is the first thing that must be there. So it is said, Adau Shraddha. In the beginning, there must be faith. Then with the faith, when one has developed a little bit faith, one becomes interested in associating with pure devotees and eventually is initiated. Under their instructions, he starts to carry out the different services following regulative principles. And doing that, eventually, one becomes freed from unwanted things. And being fixed, he starts to develop taste and attachment. So this whole process begins from faith. So Prahlad Maharaj also emphasized this point that first there must be some faith. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, and the beginning of it is faith. And faith really means surrendering, because surrendering without faith or faith without surrendering is not possible, actually. Simply by that faith, you can also understand transcendental knowledge, he said. So surrender means full faith that whatever Krishna says is all right, I'll not do anything else, and I shall simply surrender to Krishna. When one thinks in every situation like this, that means one has developed faith. Next point is about material body and it being temporary and everything related to it also. So Prahlad Maharaj says that he gave an example about the tree and its fruits, because just as the fruits and flowers, in due course of time, they undergo 6 changes. They are born, they take birth, they exist, they grow and transform, then comes dwindling, and eventually they vanish, death. So the material body also, which is obtained by the spirit soul under different circumstances, undergoes similar changes. However, there are no such changes for the spirit soul. So here we are seeing that the material body is different, it is temporary, and it's used up, but the spirit soul is eternal and it cannot be used up. It always stays as same. So also about paramphilia related to the body, all of those are very near and dear as long as we have the body, as long as the body exists. But as soon as the body is destroyed, all things related to the body are also finished and forgotten. And whole life we gather these things. We are so anxious about our school tests. We want to get the best numbers and gather the best things, but we don't realize that even if we pass the test with best marks, if we die next week, what is the use? We were so anxious about that, and that is going to destroy us, actually, because we didn't make any spiritual progress by going to some test in school or something like this. So one actually has nothing to do with the paramphilia related to the body, but because of ignorance, we accept them as valuable things, and we use our whole life for those things, or family, or everything. We think that serving the parents is the goal of life, so we waste time. That compared to the ocean of happiness, is most insignificant that we can get from spiritual life. So what is the use of such paraphilia for an eternal living being, it being insignificant and temporary? Then the next point of Prahlad Maharaj was that in any position, one can become a devotee. So it's not just that only Hindu can become devotee or Indian or any designation. Prahlad Maharaj made it clear that no material designation or positions can block the path of devotion for one who is ready to surrender unto the process of bhakti. 7.754 Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone include, Prahlad Maharaj says this, everyone including the yakshas and rakshasas, the unintelligent woman, shudras, the cowherd man, the birds, the lower animals, everyone, and the sinful living entities also can revive their original eternal spiritual life and exist forever simply by accepting the principles of Bhakti Yoga. And also same thing is explained in 7.750, few verses before that. If a demigod, demon, human being, yaksha, gandharva, or anyone within this universe renders service to the lotus feet of Mukunda, who can deliver liberation, he is actually situated in the most auspicious conditions of life, exactly like the Mahajanas headed by Prahlad Maharaj himself. So if we follow the orders of Srila Prabhupada and what he has asked for us to do, then we can also attain the same position. And anyone can, even woman, anyone, demon, demigod, whoever. So then the last point is that pleasing the Supreme Lord is the goal of life. So Prahlad Maharaj says in Bhagavatam 7.751-52 that no one can please the Supreme Person of Godhead by becoming perfect Brahmana, demigod, or great saint, or by becoming perfectly good in etiquette or vast learning. None of those qualifications can awaken the pleasure of the Lord, nor by charity, austerity, sacrifices, cleanliness, or vows can one satisfy the Lord. So many things listed, and usually people think that these are the way to satisfy the Lord. But actually it is just one thing, that is, the Lord is pleased only if one has unflinching, unallied devotion to him. Without sincere devotional service, everything is simply a show. So all these other things, if the devotion is missing, they are completely useless actually. Krishna also states the same thing in Bhagavad Gita 11:53. Naham vedarana tapasa shakya evam vido drashtum. The form of the Lord cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. One needs transcendental vision and eyes to see him, and the vision is only given to one who has unallied devotion to him. So this devotion is the only goal of life. Prahlad Maharaj concluded at the end that in this material world, to render service to the lotus feet of Krishna, the cause of all causes, and to see him everywhere, is the only object of life and the ultimate goal of human life, as explained in all revealed scriptures. So then we go to the next part. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for this opportunity. If I committed any mistakes, please forgive me. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you for the nice presentation, Prabhu. So, Luvesh Prabhu, you can take over from here. We'll go as a flow.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much all for sticking with us so far. So I will actually continue now from the point of Hiranyakashipu's failed attempts to torture Prahlad Maharaj. So next slide, Prabhu. So in the beginning, Hiranyakashipu had devised so many ways of trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj, right? He came up with so many different methods, and according to the instructions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to be very careful when it comes to, accepting the association of people who can commit all sorts of abominable activities upon you. And here it is stated, for example, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, verse 42, in the purport, that the demon Hiranyakashipu had so many ways to try to become God himself. But although Prahlad Maharaj was chastised and threatened in many ways, he rigidly refused to accept his powerful demoniac father as God. Following in the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, we should reject all the rascals who pretend to be God, and therefore we must accept Krishna and his incarnations and no one else. So this is actually a very nice quality by Prahlad Maharaj, where he aims to teach us the following. We have to learn to detach from demoniac association because we don't actually know their true intentions, yes? And even without knowing them, their true intentions, they can always hold a lot of envy within their heart. They can always hold a lot of jealousy within their heart. So it is very important to remain away from those who are not devotees of God because we can easily catch the contaminations and become just like them. In fact, as Sami Prabhu mentioned, what is that verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So anyone who associates with devotees actually automatically becomes quote unquote contaminated in the sense, but transcendently contaminated in the sense he becomes completely surcharged with Krishna consciousness in the association of pure devotees. And this is the kind of surcharging we actually need to advance in Krishna consciousness. So it is not actually contamination, it's actually completely opposite of contamination. So this is why it is very important to associate with devotees, because without associating with devotees, we can never advance in Krishna consciousness, no matter how hard we try. Prabhupada even said that we may try to perform devotional service independently from the association of Vaishnavas, but it will all end in failure. It will all end in failure because it is the Vaishnavas by whose blessings we actually advance in Krishna consciousness, right? We have to engage ourselves in devotional activities by the guidance of senior Vaishnavas. Next slide, Prabhu. So, expanding more on the idea of rejecting all the rascals who pretend to be God. In the beginning, like I said, Hiranyakashipu devised so many ways of trying to, kill Prahlad Maharaj. Of course, Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahabhagavat, he cannot be killed, and hence simply attempts. And these attempts were actually foiled by the will of Krishna, because Krishna protects his devotees. If you become a devotee of Krishna, Krishna will give you all protection. So, and some of these attempts, by Hiranyakashipu involved throwing Prahlad Maharaj into a pit of snakes, using very harmful spell work to mess with Prahlad Maharaj's intelligence and body, hurling him from the top of very high mountain, and also administering Prahlad Maharaj poison. But all these attempts were a failure because Prahlad Maharaj was a pure devotee and he was protected by Lord Narasimha. So when Hiranyakashipu realized this, he fell into a lot of anxiety, He realized, oh wow, his son is not dying. So what can be done? So Hiranyakashipu started planning even further. He started thinking about his next move, Next slide, Prabhu. So here you can see the devious means employed by Hiranyakashipu to kill Prahlad Maharaj. And yet all of them were a failure because you can see in every one of them, Prahlad Maharaj was depending completely on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the quality that we have to look out for ourselves, in terms of surrender. Because fearlessness is a quality which we all have to imbibe. And I'll even speak more about fearlessness in a few moments. But in this particular context, if you see, not only was Prahlad Maharaj fearless, he was completely steady in all these situations, no matter what. His mind was equipoised. And this ties in directly to the verses of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna explains how devotees are supposed to be transcendental to heat and cold. Like as you see in the last painting, Prahlad Maharaj, there was no effect on Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj was not affected by the heat of the pot. He was not affected by the demons attempting to, put him in between a stampede of elephants, or even, being poked by the demons with their spears and with their pitchforks and everything. So we have to learn from Prahlad Maharaj about the quality of steadiness. Steadiness is a very, very important quality for a devotee, because if a devotee is not steady, he cannot perform Krishna consciousness, right? Krishna consciousness practice means to remain steady and consistent in it. If we're not consistent in the practice, we will most probably just dwindle from this path. So it's very important to become very determined to always serve the Supreme Lord, no matter what the situation is. Okay, next slide, Prabhu. So here we actually begin with the glorious appearance of Lord Narasimha. And so when the teachers in Prahlad Maharaj's school, namely Shanda and Amarka, when they noticed how their students were slowly becoming converted to devotees, they immediately confronted Hiranyakashipu about this. And upon hearing Chanda and Amaka, Hiranyakashipu because from the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in the 7th canto, it is stated that Hiranyakashipu began to tremble in that anger. He was that angry. And his eyes became blood red with anger. And in turn, Hiranyakashipu wanted to call Prahlad Maharaj to confront Prahlad Maharaj. Next slide, Prabhu. So here, Hiranyakashipu, after calling Prahlad Maharaj to him, tried to engage Prahlad Maharaj in a very tense argument. And this tension can very much be felt when you're reading these verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm not going to dive in too much detail into the actual debate. However, the sum and substance of this argument between Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu has been given in one of the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam mentioned by Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, everyone thinks that he has conquered his enemies, not understanding that his enemies are his uncontrolled mind and 5 senses. Manaha shashthan indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. In this material world, everyone has become a servant of the senses. Originally, everyone is a servant of Krishna, but in ignorance, one forgets this. And thus, one is engaged in the service of Maya through lusty desire, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and jealousy. Everyone is actually dependent on the reactions of material laws, but still one thinks himself independent and thinks that he has conquered all directions. In conclusion, one who thinks that he has many enemies is an ignorant man, whereas one who is in Krishna consciousness knows that there are no enemies but those within himself, namely lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and jealousy. Right? So the uncontrolled mind and senses are our real enemies. And in that time, Hiranyakashipu did not realize this because he was in ignorance. Hiranyakashipu did not realize that Prahlad Maharaj was a pure devotee and he was completely controlled. So there was no reason for Prahlad Maharaj to be chastised by Hiranyakashipu. And therefore, in the previous slides, if you have noticed, one of the slides was titled Chastisement Non-Liket, which means chastisement on false grounds. You cannot chastise anyone who does not deserve to be chastised, especially if it's a pure devotee. So if we chastise pure devotees for no reason, or if we blaspheme against them, immediately the duration of our life becomes very low, and to the point where our death becomes very much close to us. Next slide, Prabhu. So this demon Hiranyakashipu took these challenges very lightly because he wanted to test Prahlad Maharaj's arguments. Although we should not do this, we should never approach pure devotees in the challenging spirit. But Hiranyakashipu was such. He stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that Hiranyakashipu said, "How dare you, Prahlad Maharaj, stand against me when everyone else is fearful of me?" So this challenge was taken up by Hiranyakashipu. And with one of his hands, Hiranyakashipu struck the pillar. He struck one of the pillars in his palace. And as soon as that strike hit that pillar, a very, very loud roar erupted in all the 10 directions and from all the 10 directions. And it was so loud that the entire universe could hear it. And it shook the hearts of the demigods in heaven. Because the moment they heard this roar, immediately the demigods became very fearful. Oh, now our planets will be destroyed. So it is important to note, however, that in this particular pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, notice how the verses never describe Prahlad Maharaj's heart being shattered. Everyone's heart shook except Prahlad Maharaj, because this was not mentioned in any of the verses. And this is a very interesting quality of a pure devotee, fearlessness. And why was Prahlad Maharaj fearless? Because he could directly perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead within that pillar. And this roar is actually indicative of that fearlessness by Prahlad Maharaj. Right? Prahlad Maharaj was fearless because he could see Krishna within that pillar as Lord Narasimha did. And pure devotees are actually by nature fearless due to their staunch and unshaken faith in God. So this strong faith actually arises from the idea that because the pure devotee perceives the Lord everywhere in his original Bhagavan feature, the devotee never fears. if you see Krishna in front of you always, there is no reason to fear him, no matter what the situation is. So this is what I would like to focus on mainly in this portion of the presentation. Sami Prabhu, could you go to the next slide? So we have to develop firm faith in Krishna by the process of devotional service. And it is very important to develop this faith, because from this faith comes fearlessness. Right? In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in this purport, Canto 7, Chapter 8, verse 10, it is stated that demons sometimes declare to a devotee that they cannot accept the existence of God because they cannot see him. But what the demon does not know is stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 25. Naham prakashah sarvasya yoga maya samavritah. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by yoga maya. So the Lord is open to being seen by devotees, especially those who are on the prema platform. But non-devotees cannot see him. The qualification for seeing God is stated in the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana churita bhakti velochanena santah sadaiva hridayeshu velokayanti. A devotee who has developed a genuine love for Krishna can always see him everywhere, whereas a demon not having a clear understanding of the Supreme Lord cannot see him. So when Hiranyakashipu was threatening to kill Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad certainly saw the column standing before him and his father. And he saw that the Lord was present in the pillar to encourage him not to fear his demoniac father's words. So here Prabhupada is directly mentioning that if you are perceiving the Lord everywhere, then this quality of fearlessness becomes completely manifest in the devotee. So this is why it is very important. You know, the way to cultivate this fearlessness is to develop the realization from within that Krishna is present everywhere in every atom, and he is always there to protect us in the way Krishna sees best. So the Lord was present to protect him. And Hiranyakashipu marked Prahlad's observation and asked him, "Where is your God? Where is your God, young boy?" So Prahlad Maharaj then replied that he is everywhere. Of course, Hiranyakashipu did not agree to it. Therefore, he wanted to tempt the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Hiranyakashipu asked, "Why is he not in this pillar before me?" So he was there, but Hiranyakashipu could not perceive him because he was so deep into the mode of ignorance that he could not perceive that form. And so in all circumstances, the devotee can always see the Supreme Lord, whereas the non-devotee cannot. Next slide, Prabhu. So when Narasimha Dev burst forth from the pillar, he made that large roar. You know, even before also bursting, he made this big roar. And according to Sri Vijayendra Tirtha of the Madhva Sampradaya, he has written very beautifully and poetically the sounds, the various kinds of sound effects and anger that were present at that moment. So he stated in poem, Bhukhandam Varanandam Paravara Viratam Dampadam Porudampam Dim 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 Didimbam Dahamapi Dahamai Jhampa Jhampaischa Jhampai Tulyas Tulyas Tulyaha Duma Duma Dumakai Kumkumankai Kumankai Ye Tatte Purana Yuktam Purahara Karaha Patumam Narasimha. So when Narasimha Dev burst forth from that pillar, immediately they started fighting. And when finally Narasimha Dev caught a hold of Hiranyakashipu, he placed him on the lap and he tore and bifurcated the belly and chest of Hiranyakashipu. And he took the intestines of Hiranyakashipu and garlanded it on his neck. And this can also be seen in another way. In this way, because see, even in Krishna's pastimes also, when Putana, for example, approached Krishna to kill him, or to attempt to kill him, Krishna killed Putana in turn, but Putana was liberated. Why? Because she was killed by Lord. But also because it can be seen that Putana came to offer the Lord breast milk. Even though that the breasts of Putana was smeared with poison, still Krishna accepted that as an offering because she wanted to, with that mood, come to Krishna, offer her milk. And this way she was liberated. In the same way, Hiranyakashipu offering his intestines to the Lord as a garland is also indicative of this. In this way also, Hiranyakashipu was in some way performing devotional service to the Lord. So Hiranyakashipu's chest and belly were completely bifurcated, and the intestines of Hiranyakashipu served as a garden for the Lord. So mainly we have to understand that in this image also you see Prahlad Maharaj, although all this is happening, you know, he's observing everything, but he was completely fearless and steady. So this quality of fearlessness and this quality of steadiness has to be inculcated in devotees. In fact, fearlessness is one of the most important qualities of a devotee. In fact, it's the first quality of a devotee. Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, verses 1. In verse 1, actually, yes. Abhayam sattva samshuddhim. Abhayam is the very first quality in a devotee that Krishna mentioned because it is the most important. It is the most important, right? So I hope this attempt at presenting was up to speed. I hope everyone liked it. I'm very thankful that everyone was still, attentive to the presentation. I hope everyone was. And I think the next one who was to give the next portion of the presentation is, I think, Gyani Prabhu.
Yes, very nice presentation, Luvesh Prabhu. Thank you very much. It was very beautiful, very nice quotes and everything. Thank you. So, Jani Prabhu, so you're doing the beautiful ending, the pastimes of, not pastimes, of course, pastimes, but the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. So, kindly do start to speak when you're ready, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. And I will talk about the Prahlad Maharaj. And actually, there is a lot to talk about, but according to the time that we have to focus on special topics. So I will begin with how Prahlad Maharaj pacified the Supreme. Can I have the slide, please? Thank you. So after slaying Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narasimha still remained very, very, and even the demigod, including Lord Brahma, could not find courage directly approach Lord Narasimha. So they were all here, but they didn't find courage to pacify the Lord. And we can see in those that the demigods are very much more they feel fear. Sometimes actually they will worship the demigods. So there is one scream, and this is Narasimha, and this is Sri Krishna. So now we can see that even the demigods, they were in fear to approach this ferocious, and they are not used to see that form, but this was the first time. And they requested Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, to try to pacify her husband, but Lakshmi, she doesn't want to go because she didn't recognize her husband. This is not a normal transformation. It was very ferocious. The anger was very ferocious. So she didn't recognize her husband. She didn't want to go. She was actually she's Lakshmi. She has to be very chaste. So she didn't want to go there. She faced that husband that she didn't recognize. So even Lakshmi Devi could not pacify the Lord. So can I have the next slide, please? So Alada Muni suggests that even Prahlad Maharaj was only a little boy, Lord Brahma actually requested him to go and try to pacify the Lord. And this is what the truly, I think that, yeah, for me, it's really sublime, because Prahlad Maharaj very calmly and very composed. He just, and first thing that he does, he just go to the feet of Narasimha and just pay obeisances. And this is what we all do actually for greeting devotee when there is a senior Vaishnava, or when there is, when we enter a temple, or when we see the deity, we just pay obeisances, or like thunder, and we pay our obeisances. And when it is said that when we pay obeisances, Lord became ecstatic with affection to him. He has some affection when he saw Prahlad Maharaj so gentle and so kind and so humble, pay obeisances to him. So he placed his lotus hand in Prahlad Maharaj's head and purified him from all material contamination and all his suffering due to his atheistic father, Hiranyakashipu. All this suffering vanished in an instant. So it is said that, yeah, by the touch of Lord Narasimha hands on Prahlad Maharaj's head, Prahlad was completely free for all material contamination and desires. If he had some thoroughly cleansed, therefore he at once became transcendent. It was that time that when the Lord placed his lotus hand on his head, it was at that time that he becomes pure devotee, transcendent, situated, and all the of ecstasy become manifested in his. He become very static. His heart filled with love and his eyes with tears. And thus he was able to completely capture the spirit of the Lord within of his heart. So you can see that when the Lord bless us, when we see the darshan, become static and we become pure enough to witness this part that I will explain. It is said Prahlad Maharaj fixed his mind and sight upon Lord Narasimha with full attention. In competence with a fixed mind, he began to offer prayer in love with flattering voice. So we can see that there is a moment when you want to offer prayer, and give us an example. So when you were transcendentally situated and his mind were fixed, now he began to offer his transcendental prayer. And I want to talk about one particular quality that all Vaishnavas should have, and it's according in the pacification that Prahlad Maharaj to Narasimha, and this is humility. So we can see that after paying obeisance, the Lord was very much pleased through Prahlad Maharaj, because he was very humble, and it is said in quote of Srila Prabhupada, that unless we are humble and meek, we cannot progress in our spiritual path. A Vaishnav who is fully qualified still thinks himself extremely low while offering prayer to the Prahlad Maharaj. You will feel like that. He said in his prayer that how is it about me, who is an ashur of a prayer to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but actually he succeeded in this very beautifully just by being humble and offering some obeisances to the Lord. So when we, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Shishastaka, he will point that quality also in the first verse, in the third verse on the Shishastaka. This is the first line. And one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. So we can see that the humility is very high quality when we need to chant the holy name of the Lord. So to begin with knowledge, Krishna recommends humility, because this is life. We are not humble. We are not humble. We are very proud, always proud, like young little possession. We're proud of our little possession. But actually, this is not so important, because we have to realize we are the soul. So we need to develop this of humility and surrendering to the Lord. So you give all. First condition is you give all these nonsense. Please surrender to me. It's like the Bhagavad Gita is a well-known verse, 1866, when it said, Anikam Sharanam Blaja, Aham Tvam Sarvapabebhyo, Mokshaya Chami Mashucha. Abandon all variety of adjustment to me, assure you for reaction. So you need to give up all this nonsense and search the Lord. And there's a process to do that.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but your voice is lagging actually. I think it's your Wi-Fi problem. Is it possible to maybe shift to another place, or maybe just switch off your camera and try to speak? Because it's lagging for all of us.
Is it better now, or do I need to switch place?
No. Right now it's good. It's okay.
I just switched the camera. Sorry. I didn't know it was lagging. Sorry. Forgive me.
No worries. You can continue from where you started. Maybe some previous points as well you could mention in more depth, which you covered before. Maybe if you want to repeat them, you can repeat them as well, so we can also hear them more properly.
Okay. Yes. So I will start from when I quote the Sri Chaitanya. I will say this. Yeah. When I quote the Bhagavad Gita verses, and this was the 18.66. So Krishna wants us to abandon all variety of religion and just surrender into him, and he shall deliver us for all simple reaction. He said that we don't need to fear. So there is a process to do that, and it's Bhakti Yoga. And the more advance we become in Bhakti Yoga, the more humble we become. So because we have nothing to do with this material world anymore, we become detached. So Bhakti Yoga will help us to detach. Bhakti means to be free from attachment of this material world and to become attached to Krishna. Because we have to attach to something. So we cannot become unattached. That is impossible. So in order to become attached to Krishna, we need to do devotional service. And this devotional service, with this, will become detached of material affection. And that is wanted actually. So in this verse of that say that prayer for protection, it is said that, O most powerful, unsurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen soul, have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities. And therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? And I want to point out this prayer because it is said that when will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation and conditional love? Yeah, we need to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And how to do that if we don't surrender? So we need to surrender. And it is said that I want to point out a verse that I like, and it's Gajendra in the chapter 8, Canto 8, chapter 2, 23. And it is said that we are always in danger because at any moment death can take place. It is not that only Gajendra, the king of elephants, was afraid of death. Everyone should fear death because everyone is caught by the crocodile of eternal time and may die at any moment. The best course, therefore, is to seek shelter of Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, and be saved from the struggle for existence in this material world, in which one repeatedly takes birth and dies. To reach this understanding is the ultimate goal of life. So it's according to what I just read, it said the same thing, that we need to overcome death. We need to surrendering more to the lotus feet of Shri Hari, Shri Krishna. And actually, I just want to say one more thing, is that why I choose to present this humility and devotional service and surrendering more and more to the lotus feet of the Lord, because this was the beginning of the prayer that Prahlad Maharaj uttered and said to Lord Narasimha. And actually, this is my realization. I just begin my spiritual path. I just begin to associate with devotee and do my sadhana. And I have realized that humility will help me to surrender more and more to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, but the lotus feet of Shri Hari Shri Krishna, Narasimha Dev. And the humility will help us to pray naturally, because just like Prahlad Maharaj, when he very humble and meek approach the Lord, everything comes so naturally. So when we are humble, sincerely humble, then very naturally we will pray to the Lord, and we will pray sincerely. So then the Lord will be pleased with us, and He can bestow His mercy, and even we will pray to the mercy of the spiritual master. Now I have to pray for His mercy so that I can get initiated, so that I can have His mercy. If I don't pray to Him, how can I talk what I hear about Him or Krishna Katha for you or devotee? So we must have this humility. This we should be humble and meek. This is a quality of a Vaishnava. The more we advance, we can see how a Vaishnava is advanced because he is very, very humble and meek. So we can see how a Vaishnava is advanced when he is very humble and he wants to serve all the devotees. So this was the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj that I want to point out for this last presentation of the prayer. And I invite you all to read the rest of this beautiful prayer that is in 7th canto, chapter 9, and it begins on the verse 8. And yeah, there is 50 verses. So I just want to cover the beginning because it was something that resonated with me, and I want to share with you all in this special event. So I want to thank you all for listening, and sorry for the inconvenience. My internet here in Reunion Island is very low. It was a pleasure for me to present you this and narrate you this pastime and this beautiful pastime of the Lord and Prahlad Maharaj. And I hope that everything that I say was okay, was correct. If I made some mistake, please forgive me. And I want to thank you all for the opportunity for me, who is in Reunion Island, to just talk English and present to you those wonderful pastime of the Lord on those special events. So, Saikati Prabhu, thank you. His Grace, Prahlad Prabhu, thank you. Luvish Prabhu, thank you. Sami Prabhu, thank you. And Pachita Pavan, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to work with you to this event and present those presentation. It was very satisfied to hear. So thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Haribol.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Always the Prabhupada.
Thank you so much. So, Jani Prabhu, just one thing. Is Amori Prabhu as of now, is he here? Yeah, he's there. So, yes, so
Yes,
Amori
he's
Prabhu,
here,
I mean,
Prabhu.
Jani Prabhu, you could translate.
Yes, Prabhu.
And you can tell him that he has to perform his kirtan, Ugram Viram.
Okay.
Okay, and so you can tell him that whenever he's ready, he can start. He can translate.
Okay,
That's
Prabhu. I
a
will.
very wonderful presentation by Patita
Yes.
Pawan Prabhu and Luvish Prabhu and Jenny Prabhu and Sami Prabhu, and very well presentation was made. PPT was made very well by Luvish Prabhu and well coordinated with Karthik Prabhu. It's a wonderful teamwork, and really it's very professional. Even yesterday I met one of our donor who is our main donor in Pondicherry. He is a businessman, so but he's very much appreciating our activities, unconditional support, kind of. So I went and showed the presentation. Some of your, not the full presentation, a glance of your presentation, like the Luis Prabhu presentation and Karthi Prabhu presentation. I just showed a glimpse of it, and he got very much impressed. He said, "Wow, it is very professional and it's a very, I mean, how these young boys are talking so nice about the spiritual subjects. So I was very much impressed. And your presentation also is becoming, day by day, it is becoming very professional and like a good preaching material, I would say. So I thank all of you, despite of your busy schedule, work and college and family. You have spent too much of time to make a nice presentation, which will be useful for the future upcoming devotees. And today morning also we were discussing, myself and Karti Prabhu, about the Kirtanam and Shravanam and other limbs of Bhakti. So discussing that, like the best way to control the mind is by Kirtan, more than hearing. Because when you hear, your mind can get distracted. But when you speak, your mind will not get distracted. Because you are very much focused, your mind is very much focused on you. When you speak, or when you converse, or when you communicate with somebody, or when you sing, or your very much mind deviation is very, very less, I would say. Wherein you are hearing, sometimes you hear, sometimes you don't hear, sometimes you look at your phone. This all happens. So when I'm so happy that like you all are taking it up so nicely that you are very nicely are preaching the philosophy at young age. My sincere prayers at the feet of Lord Narasimha Deva, that you all should be protected by Yogamaya. That you should always be Krishna conscious and dedicate your life, your time, and your efforts and Lakshmi and everything in the service of the Lord, Supreme Lord, Radha Krishna. Okay. So thank you so much. Very happy to see your presentation. Patita Pond presented very well, and Sami Prabhu. I think Patita Pond first time, right?
Yeah, Prabhu, it
Yeah.
was my first time. I was very nervous.
I could see the nervousness, but still you presented very well. Rather, the other people, Prabhu, they have done before. The nervousness was not there. But that will go next time when you present. But it was very professional, It was very well prepared and presented. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Yes.
So thank you very much for the blessing, Prabhu. So yeah, I feel very overwhelmed. Thank you very much.
What is next?
Yes, Prabhu. So the next session is a special speech by you. So first, I would like to thank you in behalf of all the devotees, because even despite a lot of very important and urgent services, you still come here every week to give us your associations and help us to advance in Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much, Prabhu. Perhaps you're the only one in ISKM doing this. So thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam, all Krishna Prabhupada, all glories to all of you. Magyanati Virandasya, Jnanandira Shadhanti, Akshurunmilitam Mena, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Namo Vishnupadaya, Vishnuprestaya Bhutale, Shrimate Vedanta, Swami Nidhi Namine, Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Prachane, Vishesha Nevadi Pasana Deshdaran. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. And as I said, it's a wonderful presentation by all of you. I think you covered until the 9th chapter, right? Is it right, Dinesh Prabhu? Can I say that?
Yes, Prabhu, 9th chapter of Canto 7.
What about the 10th chapter?
10th chapter, there was some...
Not covered, right?
Yeah, so there were a few more prayers by Prahlad Maharaj in that chapter, but then Narasimha Dev also started speaking, and then Narad Muni continued.
Was it covered or not covered?
Jnani Prabhu, did you cover something from chapter 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7?
No. Okay.
No,
So we'll talk
Prabhu,
about
I
it.
just covered the beginning and yeah.
It's okay. We will talk about it. So Narasimha is very special for us because the whole Gaudiya Sampradaya, it's Prabhupada who has started Narasimha worship. Otherwise, we are more into Madhurya. And just for internationally, the devotees are preaching so much. Then there are so much of troubles from different elements. And Prabhupada introduced this Narasimha prayer. Otherwise, our Sampradaya, it's more about Madhurya, and there is no much of, like daily worship of Narasimha. It was not going on. Of course, even though we worship Narasimha, just like worship Ram, Matsya, Varaha, Prabhupada, introduced this Narasimha worship, especially in every morning, just for us to get protection from the Lord. So, we are very thankful to our beloved future master, Prabhupada, who has given opportunity to think of Lord Narasimha Deva. Yatpadapallava Vinidaya Kumbha, Dinde Pranama Samaye Sajanadira. So, as this Brahma Samhita verse goes, Ganesh is called as Vignesh, or is also called as Vinayak. So, the one who is removing all the obstacles. But that Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma is saying, Ganesh is getting the power from Lord Narasimha. Yeah. So Narasimha is the one giving the power, to Ganesh to remove all the obstacles. 1 minute. Okay. So we have to understand that why we don't worship Ganesh is because we're worshipping Narasimha. Otherwise, one should start all spiritual and material activities only after worshipping Ganesh. But why we don't worship Ganesh? Because we're worshipping Lord Narasimha. So Prahlad Maharaj is very, very unique, especially for us people living in Kali Yuga, because we are all, by birth, we are demons. So we are all coming from Hiranyakashipu Vamsa. So we are, we cannot say, Indians are not demons. No such thing. So all of us are demons. So who is demon? Who is demon? Who can give a proper? Anybody can volunteer to explain who is demon?
Does not worship.
How do you define demons? Who is demon?
One who does not worship Lord Vishnu.
One who does not worship the
Lord Vishnu.
Lord Krishna is actually called that. Where is it mentioned? Where is the reference for this?
Prabhu, Ishopanishad purport.
Okay, what sloka it is?
I'm not sure of the sloka, Prabhu, but I remember reading in Ishopanishad.
There is one sloka, Dvaviva Purusham Loke Deva Asura Eva. It is actually from Padma Puran. But I need to find where it is mentioned. Dvaviva Purusham Loke Deva Asura Eva Vishnu Bhakta Sprutha Deva. Asura Vipariya. So that is a verse. So you can find the verse in, let me see, maybe 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if I'm not wrong. Maybe we can check. Yeah. So 15th chapter, 16th verse. Okay, not that. Okay.
He said verse number 16, Prabhu.
Chapter? Not that. Yeah, it is there in go to Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 5th chapter, 24th verse. 8:5:24. 8:5, not 50. 8:5:24 purport. Yeah. Though Bhuta Sargo Lokosmin Deva Asura Evacha Vishnu Bhakta Sprutho Deva Asurastat Vipariyeha. Who want to read this? Of course, it's not direct translation, but still, yeah. You can read this. Somebody
Yes,
read
bro.
first.
Yes, bro. I can read it, bro. Anyone who is a devotee of Lord Krishna is called a deva, and others, even though they might be devotees of demigods, are called asuras. Ravana, for example, was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but he is described as an asura. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu is described as a great devotee of Lord Brahma, yet he was also an asura. Therefore, only the devotee of Lord Vishnu is called Sura, not Asura. Lord Krishna is very much pleased with his devotees, even if they are not on the topmost stage of devotional service. Even on the lowest stage of devotional service, one's transcendental, and if one continues with devotional life, he continues to be a deva or sura. If one continues this way, Krishna will always be pleased with him and will give him all instructions so that he may very easily return home back to Godhead.
So you may ask the question that, like we are also devotees, then why do we come under the category of demon? Because anyone who is having the propensity to enjoy is actually technically called demon. On this context only, this verse says that the Vishnu devotees are devas and asuras are those who are not devotees of Vishnu. So anyone who is trying to enjoy the property of Vishnu or Krishna is actually called as a demon. I also mentioned Chaturdashi Adi Leela 391, the same verse, So, same word, actual translation that is mentioned. Yeah. So, on that context, we are also coming from demoniac dynasty and then family. So, Prahlad Maharaj is the best example for us how to practice devotional service and how to preach boldly and how to handle all the Hiranyakashipu, right? We also have so many Hiranyakashipus and how to handle the Hiranyakashipus. So, these are all very, very important things to understand. Clear? Okay. So that's why it is, we have to learn from the example how Prahlad Maharaj was handling his father, how he was so much, in teaching his friends of demoniac family about Krishna consciousness, how much he was so brave. At the same time, how much he was humble, how much he was simple. So he was respecting the father. At the same time, he was not following his instruction. You see how nicely he balances. Respect the father. So we devotees, it is not that we don't respect the father. We respect the father for sure. But at the same time, we don't listen to them. That's why, the seventh canto, the verse there, right? So the intelligent man, he when he's handling the family members, when they are giving some crazy ideas, he'll say it's okay, we can do this. But internally, he's determined of not doing this, not to make a cumbersome, life, not to complicate the lifestyle. So that is why the devotees, or we should learn from Prahlad Maharaj how to practically practice Krishna consciousness in this Kali Yuga. That is why even Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that among the demons I am Prahlad. You see, so that is why this is very important to understand the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, the devotees, because you see, there are two kind of Bhagavati. One is actually, about Bhagavan, one is about the devotees. Both are actually called as Bhagavat. So, out of these two things, the pastimes of the devotees are more purifying than the pastimes of the Lord. Okay, the pastimes of the devotees are more purifying than the pastimes of the Lord. So, that's why we should be Tadya Seva, it should be, more towards learning about the devotees than the Lord. Okay, so now I want to start from the place where you stopped. Let us go to 7th canto, 9th chapter. Okay, go to the last section. After Prahlad Maharaj submit his prayer. Oh, it's calling. Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhu? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. So you can go to the 7th canto, 9th chapter at the end. Okay, go to verse number 52. Go to verse number 52. So Prahlad Maharaj pacified Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Narasimha. And then after that, Narasimha is very much happy, and then he is saying this. If somebody can read.
It's true. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastimes to fulfill the desires of all living beings, and therefore you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled."
Okay, so here Lord Narasimha is very much happy, and then he is asking, whatever you want, he asks me, I'll give you. Okay, whatever you want, he asks me, I will give you. So, this is actually the rarest opportunity one can get. Vishnu doesn't say that. Krishna does not say this. Krishna does not say, whatever you want, he asks me, I will give you. You don't do this. Because normally people misuse. That is why the demons do not go to Vishnu. The Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Hiranyaksha, none of them went to Vishnu. They all go to demigods. Because that benediction is the most dangerous thing. Of course, that will be explained later. I'll be explaining that. Okay. So, then you go to next chapter. Okay. Next chapter, you go to the 10th chapter. 10th chapter, go to the beginning line. Just give the summary view, it's fine. And then you see the second chapter, second verse. Read the second verse. So when Narasimha Dev given opportunity to Prahlad Maharaj to ask whatever you want, let us see how Prahlad Maharaj reacts.
Prahlad Maharaj said, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to my material enjoyment. Therefore, kindly do not attempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. Sorry. It is for this reason that I have taken shelter of your lotus feet."
So this is how the devotees react. The devotees are always alert. That is why I always say that spiritual life means it's being alert. That is spiritual life. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. So you come to light, you're having a clear consciousness. Sthitadihi, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, this is actually Sthitadir Muni, Sthitadihi, Sthita Pragya. So these are the words that explain that having a clear consciousness. It means having a clear understanding of what is matter and what is transcendent. Spiritual, what is matter. You have a clarity between what is spiritual and what is matter. So that clarity always the devotee is having. So even the Lord is telling me, you ask me benedictions, and Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my dear sir, I have born from a demoniac family. I am already so fallen and I naturally inclined towards material enjoyment. See, the demons are naturally inclined towards material enjoyment. I am very much afraid of material condition. That's why I've come to you, but you are telling me that you will give material benediction. So what is this, my Lord? Now, why are you doing this? He's asking the Lord, why are you doing this? Why are you tempting me with some benedictions? So that's why, see, this is how the devotee should react. The devotee should always be very, very careful that we do not want any material desire. That's why the Lord is saying, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasudarim, Kavita, Vajamiti, Kamai, Avachanmani, Chanmani, Bhagavad Bhakti Rakhaitu. Even the Lord is giving some facilities to you. And the devotees are very, very careful. When Sanatana Goswami was given opportunity not to go parikram for Govardhan, and Sanatana denied it. My dear Lord, I'm sorry, I cannot do this. I have to do parikram. No, you are elevated. You are exalted. You don't need to do this. No, I need to do this. See, even the Lord is giving opportunity. The devotees are not interested to go for it. So we have to learn a very good example how they are always alert about this material bondage. Right? Pravritti Resha Bhutana, Nivrittim Mahaphala. There are two kinds of life living. One is material life, a bonded life. Another one is liberated state. Pavarka, Apavarka. Pavarka means bondage life. Apavarka means liberated. So the devotees are always very, very careful about how material attachment binds them. So that's why whatever you come across in life, You always ask a question. Suppose you need to buy a car. Suppose you need to buy a house. Suppose you need to buy something. So you always ask one question, that is it going to upgrade my spiritual life or degrade my spiritual life? If your answer is only if it is going to upgrade your spiritual life, please do it. If anything that is going to degrade your spiritual life, that you should not do this. Should not do this. Maybe about going for a work or getting married or getting a child, buying a property or buying a house, whatever it may be. If you feel that, yes, this is going to upgrade my, suppose I buy a car and I want to preach Krishna consciousness, that is fine. Suppose you want to buy a car and go for a weekend to somewhere outside, spend time with your family, that is not fine. And that too, you don't have money, go for EMI, and then you need to work like work crazy to get the money to pay back all these things. Then don't do this. See, this is what the devotee. So if you want to go back to Godhead, they have a clear understanding of the thought process and how the mind. So what is the verse today morning we're discussing? 260, right? 260 Bhagavad Gita. You keep that window, Prabhu, open a new window. 260 Bhagavad Gita. Right? Yeah. Read this. Somebody else can read. Who can read this?
The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcefully carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them.
Even the person who has discrimination, like, okay, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my Lord, don't tempt me. Even though, that kind of, still the senses are very, very powerful. That's why the devotees are always, now we go back to Bhagavad. Go back to Bhagavad. Okay, next verse. Yeah, Patita Pandra, carry on.
O my worshipful Lord, because the seed of lusty desire, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart. You have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee.
So here he is saying that why we are come to material world. That is only lust. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajo guna samudbhavaha. The Lord is saying, right, only because of karma. Because of the karma, we are getting binded. Lust it is here. Then,
Otherwise, O my Lord, O Supreme Instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotee that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him. On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service.
see here, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining how a devotee is supposed to be. He is saying that one cannot ask the Lord anything in exchange. And Narayana Maharaj is saying what? Prahlad Maharaj is actually not a pure devotee. His bhakti is mixed with jnana. Right? Narayana Maharaj says Prahlad Maharaj is not a pure devotee because his bhakti is not mixed with jnana. It is mixed with jnana. See here how nicely Prahlad Maharaj is proving that he is a pure devotee. Because he is not saying that, but the quality is he himself is proving that he is a pure devotee of the Lord. Because when the Lord is offering something, he is saying, my dear Lord, I don't want anything. So that is actually the quality of a devotee. So if you go to the Lord and ask something, my dear Lord, give me this, then you are a devotee, right? But he said, Atto, Tati, Tyasu, Jnani. All kind of devotees are there. But Desham, what is that next word? That Jnani. Desham Jnani, Yeka Bhakti Rushishate. So, out of all these things, Desham Jnani, Eka Bhakti, out of all these things, Eka Bhakti means, without any second thoughts. I don't want anything in exchange. That is a quality. So, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining here that, one's bhakti should not be mixed with any material prospect. Next verse.
A servant who desires material profit from his master is suffering.
Sami Prophet was your highlight. Yeah.
A servant who desires material profits from his master is certainly not a qualified servant of your devotee. Similarly,
Yes.
a master who bestows benediction upon his servant because of a desire to maintain a prestigious position as master is also not a pure devotee.
So here, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining the quality of a guru and the quality of a disciple. You understand? What is the qualification of a guru? What is the qualification of a disciple? The disciple should not desire for any profit for his service. Like suppose you're doing some seva, you cannot expect. That's why Shudras are normally not given any money. Shudras are taken care by the master. Nowadays, all the masters are rascals. That's why they become unprotected and then they have to come to the street and fight for their rights. Otherwise, they are very much peaceful under the control of the masters, who are Brahmanas, Kshatriya, and Vaishyas. Very much peaceful. They are less intelligent, so they should not decide something on their own what is good for them, right? Servant not aspire for any material benefit. If he is doing, then he is not a good servant. Similarly, the master also should not tempt the person for any material desire. So you should not say that you do the job, I'll give you money. No, that is not a guru. Prabhupada is not saying that you surrender your life, I'll 5,000 rupees I put in my account every month. No, he's not saying that. You surrender unconditionally. Unconditionally. How? The next verse, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining. Carry on.
Oh my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant. You are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than the master and servant. You are naturally my master, and you are naturally your servant. We have no other reasons.
So this is what actually, like a Savai Pumsam Parodharmo, Yato Mandratu today, Ahetuki Apratyata, Teyatma Suprasi. So that was, like a Savai Pumsam Parodharmo. How the devotional service is supposed to be, that is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, that Ahetuki Apratyata. Ahetuki means no reason. Why do you worship Krishna? Why do you do Mangalarti? I want to go back to Godhead. That is initial stage. Initial stage, you say, no, I don't want this material world full of problem. I want to escape from this place. That is initial stage. But more and more, you get mature and more you become experienced in Krishna consciousness. And then you say, actually, I have no reason. I have no reason. The reason is, this is my original position. Right? Like even yesterday, Vishwamatu was explaining in his lecture, there are two kinds of Swadharma. One Swadharma is a material Swadharma, another one Swadharma is spiritual Swadharma. In the material Swadharma, when you think you are a body, then you talk about your maintenance and eating, sleeping, mating, defending. In that case, there is Varnashram Dharma. Like when you are understanding yourself as a body, then you have to understand a proper clarity of what is your Swadharma, right? And then you have to slowly, you have to give up this bodily consciousness and go to the original Swadharma, that I am the servant of Krishna. The soul. As a soul, you understand that you are a servant of Krishna. To go to that platform, you need to slowly come out of the bodily conception of life. For that, the tool is Varnashram Dharma. Right? That's why Vishnu Purana mentioned Varnashrama Vivachara Dharma. That verse is there. So what is that? Only by Varnashram Dharma one can Vishnu Aradhide Panta Nanyat Taddoshakar. So Vishnu Aradhide, only by worshipping Vishnu, only by following Sanatan, only by following Varnashram Dharma, one is pleasing Vishnu. Right? You know the verse? Can you find out the verse? Where is it mentioned? About the Varnashram Dharma? So you go to this from Bhagavatam 3:13:11 purport. Not 8, 3:13:11.
What, Prabhu? I didn't hear the number.
3:13:11. Yeah. Go to the purport. Yeah. Translation.
One can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu by proper discharge of the principle of Varna and Ashram. There is no alternative to pacifying the Lord by execution of the principles of the Varna Ashram system.
So this is actually not for pure devotees. Pure devotees, they don't follow Varnashram Dharma. They don't follow Varnashram Dharma. Yeah. But this is for the normal people, the initial stage, for you to come to the understanding of what is your real Swadharma. That is to please Vishnu, but at the same time, I need food, I need family, I need money, I need sex. Then the Lord says, okay, never mind, you get married and then be with your wife and then get a small property and then you live with your family. But you worship me, keep me in the center. That is Varnashram. Varnashrama Charavata. Pumsena Parapuman, Vishnuradhini Panta, Nanyat Tattosha Karinam. There is no other way to understand your real Swadharma. But Tyaktva Swadharmam Saranambujam Hare. That is 174. Bhagavatam 174. No, what is this? Tyaktva Swadharmam. What is the verse? One 517, not 7. 1517. 1517. Swami Prabhu, 1517. Yeah. Translation.
1.4 is material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down. While in an immature state, yet there is no danger of him being unsuccessful. On the other hand,
carry on.
On the other hand, a non-devotee who engage in occupation of duty does not gain anything.
Okay, here he is talking about giving up the Varnashram Dharma. Giving up Varnashram Dharma. Okay, so this is different. This is for the person who is already established or almost established himself in the real Swadharma. So they don't ask anything for themselves. Now you go back to Prahlad Maharaj prayer. We'll continue with 7:10. Yeah. What we discussed, go back. Yeah, chapter 10. Okay. So what we discussed here. So the real servant, they don't ask anything from the Lord. So you don't ask that. But the initial stage, you ask your Varnashram Dharma, you pray to the Lord, please take care of my wife, please take care of my child, please give me some money. We always ask something. The Lord does not give all things. Yeah. The next verse.
O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires.
So this is actually the real benediction Prahlad Maharaj is asking. I'm asking benediction that I don't want any benediction. That is real benediction. I don't want any material desire. I just want to be bereft of all material desires. Nadanam, Najanam, Sundari. See, this is actually the real prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. But he is justifying. How is he justifying? Somebody else can read? Take turn. Want to read?
I can read. Can I read?
Yeah, carry on.
Oh, yes. So, oh my Lord, because of lusty desire, from the very beginning of one's birth, the function of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, passions, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished.
See, when you get lust, all these things happen. Lust means, you want to enjoy the body. When you want to enjoy the body, then, your mind, life, body, religion, passion, everything is actually bad. Okay, next.
Oh my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours.
See, this is the quality to have opulence. This is the quality to accept wealth. So when you can get wealth, then actually you are, what is the verse? What is the line Prabhupada is saying? It's a nice caption. I forgot. Anyway, so here, so then only he's actually become qualified to possess this material opulences and wealth. So that is desireless. Desireless is actually the key. You have to become desireless. If you become desireless, then you get qualification to possess wealth and opulences. But indirectly, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, "My dear Lord, I'm so fallen. I'm not up to the stage yet. Please don't tempt me with all these wealth and opportunities." Because Prahlad Maharaj is very much qualified, but he thinks himself was not qualified. That is why he's saying that no, human being should be able to give up material desires in his mind. Then only he possesses all the opulences. But now I'm not at that stage. Why do you tempt me by asking me for some wealth and opulences? Yes. Go to 11 to us. 11 to us.
11th. Oh, the
This is
Supreme
how the Lord,
Personality of
God is replying to the statements of Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah.
Yes. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Prahlad, devotee like you never desire any kind of material opulences, either in this life or in the next. Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences of the demon in this material world, acting as their king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu."
So now, here, Narasimha is saying that, my dear Prahlad, don't think I am a fool. I'm giving this benediction to you because I know you will not misuse it. No. So the Supreme Lord is saying, my dear Prahlad, devotee like you never desire any kind of opulence. That is why I'm asking of a benediction from you. Because devotees ask for any benedictions, what they will ask, my dear Lord, let the temple be completed. My dear Lord, let me engage in your service. Let my family also be engaged in your service. Like protect my, like all my God brothers, so that they can engage in your service much more better. Make the whole world become a devotees. One devotee also, he was praying to the Lord, my dear Lord, you take away the karma for all the living entities and put it to me and let them all get liberated. I will go to hell. So that is how the devotee prays. Devotee prays to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, take away the karma of all living entities and give it to me and let everyone get pure devotional service. See, this is how the devotee is always aspiring. So here, Narasimha is saying that I am giving you this benediction because you will not misuse. You will not misuse because devotee like you would never desire any kind of opulences, either in this life or in the next life. So, Jivova, Marmova, right? Either you die, either you live, doesn't matter. Virayasya, Hare Dase, Karmana, Manasa, Agira. So anyone, who is pure devotional service, and either he is in this body or not in this body, he is always liberated. Jivan Muktasya Uchyate. He is always liberated, even in this material. No, but Shima is telling, nevertheless, but nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulence of the demon in the material world, acting as their king until the end of duration of time occupied. Because Shima they want Prahlad Maharaj to help the demons to become a devotees also. Like why Prabhupada has to come to this world. He did not come here to enjoy the opulences, but he has come to preach and make everyone devotees. Yeah. That's the next verse. Narasimha Devi is actually stressing the point more. Yeah.
Should I
Carry
go
on?
on or?
Yeah, carry on.
Yes. It does not matter that you are in material world. You should always continuously hear in the instruction and message given by me, and always be absorbed in thought of me. For I am the super soul existing in the core of everyone's heart. Therefore, give up fruitive activities and worship me.
So here Narasimha Devi is telling to Prahlad Maharaj, actually you should not worry whether you are in the material world or in the spiritual world. The same thing is also told by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Narayana Parasarve Nakutaschana Bibyati Swarga Apavargana Geshu Api Dulyartha Darshana. Narayana devotees, Krishna devotees are never disturbed by any material impediments. Whether they are in the hell or in the heaven or they are liberated, Api Dulyartha, they see have an equal vision of everything. Vita Raga Sugam, Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, same thing. So explained in Bhagavad Gita, second chapter. Okay. So here, he is saying that So you always engaged in caring. So whether you are the spiritual world, if you are in Goloka Vrindavan, what do? You cook for the Lord, you play with the Lord, or you take blessing from the Lord, or if you have obtained the Vatsalya, you give blessing to the Lord, right? Or if you are the Madhurya, then you assist the gopis. If you are in Santarasa, then you enjoy witnessing the pastimes of the Lord, right? And then if you are a servant, then you assist the pastimes of the Lord. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But you always hear the instructions given by him. Okay. That is why whether in the Goloka Vrindavan or it is Pondicherry Vrindavan, Buddhism Vrindavan, or you are in your own respective Australia, Singapore, wherever you are, but still as long as you are engaged in the process of Shravanam Kirtanam, then you're always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, and then then automatically you elevate yourself, right? Give up the fruitive activities and worship. Okay, of course, he's not engaged in fruitive activities, but still Narasimha is giving a statement for the universal statement is present. Okay, next verse.
My dear Prahlad, while you are in material world, you will exhaust all reaction of pious activity by feeling happiness, and by acting piously, you will not realize impious activity. Because of the powerful time factor, you will give up your body, but the glories of your activities will be sung in the upper planetary system, and being fully freed from all bondage, you will return home back to Godhead.
This is a very important instruction. We always worry about the sinful reaction, right? We always fear the sinful reactions. We fear that I've killed a snake, I have killed a mosquito, or I did this mistake, I will go to hell, I'll go to hemorrhage, what to do. We always worry about only this. What about the pious results? What about the pious results? I have helped my friend, I have given this, but we normally don't care about it. We normally don't care about actually the pious results, but you have to understand that the pious results also impediment to go back. Just like the impious results are binding you, the pious results are also binding. That's why, Krishna mercifully, when Karna was leaving his body, Krishna begged for all this punya. And then once the Karna was able to give all the punya to Krishna, all the reactions of his punya, then he was qualified to go back to God. But the foolish people don't understand that. They say, see how Krishna, how cruel, how bad he is. If the person is going to die, he's taking the good reactions. What kind of rascal he is? But we don't understand because he was not able to liberate because of that. So because it's a burden. It's a burden, actually. It's a burden. That is why Narasimha is saying that by feeling happiness, being a king, right, is actually what? Is a Narapati. He's Narapati. So he's also called as Bhutapati, or he's actually he's a god in the human form. The king is supposed to be God in the human form. That's how the citizens can. So for him, all the opulences are there. He has so many wives and so many servants and so much of money and so much of respect, so much of servants, and he don't need to work. And then so he get the tax from the people. So by being happiness, normally we come out of the reactions of our pious activity. So the devotees normally don't do impious activities. So but we do pious activities. But by being happy in this material world, then the pious activities also get neutralized. Then one day you'll give up your body, and then you'll come to me. That is why Prahlad, Srimati is telling Prahlad Maharaj. But it's not for Prahlad Maharaj. It is for universal statement, as I said before. Next verse.
One who always remembers your activities and my activities also, and who chant the prayer you have offered, become free in due course of time from the reaction of material activities.
So this is a beautiful, like promise by Lord Narasimha. Anyone who remember the pastimes of Prahlad Narasimha, anyone who chant the prayers of pastimes of Prahlad Narasimha, or anyone who is chanting the prayers offered by Prahlad Maharaj, and then he is becoming free from these material reactions, and we go back to God. So this is actually a blessings by Lord Narasimha for what all we have done in the past years. We were discussing the pastimes of the Lord, and you made a PPT, and then you presented, and then you prepared, you researched about it, and night 11 o'clock you got a meeting about this, right? Night 11 o'clock on meeting, morning 1 o'clock on meeting, right? And then you presented. So Prahlad Narasimha is saying that, yeah, you've done all these things, in due course of time, you'll be free from all material contamination activities. Okay, this is how Narasimha is concluding, answering Prahlad Maharaj. Now, of course, this is a famous thing we discussed so many times. Anyway, we can read again about next verse. Prahlad Maharaj is further replying.
Maharaj said, O Supreme Lord, because you are so merciful to the fallen souls, I ask you for only one benediction. I know that my father, at the time of his death, had already been purified by your glance upon him, but because of his ignorance of your beautiful power and supremacy, he was unnecessarily angry at you, falsely thinking that you were the killer of his brother. Thus, he directly blasphemed your lordship, the spiritual master of all living beings, and committed heavily sinful activities directed against me, your devotee. I wish that he be excused for these sinful activities.
कृष्ण से तुम्हारा कृष्ण रीते पारो तुम्हारा सकति आते अमित तो गंगा कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली ताय तव पाचे पाचे. It's a prayer of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is saying that to his spiritual master, he is saying Krishna se tumhara Krishna dite par. So Krishna is yours and you have power to give Krishna to me. Krishna se tumharo Krishna dite paro tomaro sakati ache. That is your power. Your power is so that you are able to give Krishna to anybody whom you want. Amito Gangala Krishna Krishna Koli Tai Tava Pati. Whereas myself is concerned, I have no power. What I can do, I can only run after you calling Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj, with his own statement, he is saying that my father is a biggest rascal. He is a biggest rascal. He is not at all qualified to go back to you. He is not at all qualified to get liberated. But still, if you want to give one benediction and you liberate my father. See, the devotees don't want any benedictions other than the benefit of other living entities. Vaishnava Janatoni. The Vaishnava always, they are one feed parayani. They cannot see others suffering. So they always want others to be happy. He's saying that, my dear father, I just want my father to be liberated. But he is not qualified. That is why the Vaishnava has a power to liberate any rascals. Vaishnavas are so powerful that they can liberate any rascal. That is also, there is actually a pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. What's Saranga Murari, right? Saranga. Yeah. What is his guru name? Saranga, right? The one who gave initiation to the dead body. Yeah. And the disciple name? So, there actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having one devotee called Saranga Murari, and he is not having any disciple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you are getting old. You need some disciples. You need some servants to help you. Why you are not taking any disciples? You say, I don't want to get contaminated. I don't want to get disturbed. I don't want any unqualified people to become my disciple, and I don't see anyone qualified to get initiated. That's why I'm not having any disciples. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that whoever you meet, they'll be qualified. Whoever you give liberation, whoever you give initiation, they'll be qualified because of your power, and they'll become qualified. Then he, all right, he thought, okay, all right, tomorrow morning, I'll take a Ganga Snan. After Ganga Snan, whoever I see first, I'll give initiation to them. Right? He came to the Ganga. So next day he went to Ganga Snan, and then he was taking bath. He was taking bath, and then he just woke up. I mean, after taking bath, he opened his eyes, and then he saw one dead body. So, but what he has already taken a commitment. He has taken a pledge that whoever I meet first, I give initiation to that person. But he saw a dead body. So what to do? He put the dead body outside. He put on that shore, and then he gave initiation to the dead body. And the dead body, the person woke up from death, he became alive, and then he came alive to render service to his spiritual master. And now all the family members are coming behind. Okay, now you're alive. You come back home. Start your karma activities again. Say no. Now this is my second birth. This is for my. So he left home and then he engaged in the service of his spiritual master. So the devotees are so powerful even to give initiation to dead body. So that is how Prahlad Maharaj is so powerful that he was able to give liberation to his father. Okay, but Narasimha is having a different opinion on this. What Narasimha is saying? Go to the next verse.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Prahlad, O most pure, O great saintly person, your father has been purified along with 21 forefathers in your family. Because you were born in this family, the entire dynasty has been purified."
Prahlad Maharaj, Narasimha is saying, Prahlad, don't think like that. Anybody who is coming in contact with the devotee, they are purified. You see, that is the power of a devotee. The devotee is so powerful that he can liberate 21 forefathers. How powerful they are. I don't need to give liberation to your father. Father is always already liberated. Same thing Dhruva Maharaj also thought. When he's going to Vaikuntha planet, he thought, because of my mother's mercy, I'm going to Vaikuntha today, but mother is not going. The moment he thought that his mother was going in front of him, she was going on another flight. Mother was going. See, automatically liberated. Next.
Whenever and wherever there are peaceful, equipoised devotees who are well behaved and decorated with all good qualities, that place and the dynasty there, even if condemned, are purified.
See, this is the power of a devotee. So wherever, even if it's a condemned place, and if there is peaceful and equipoised devotees and well behaved and having all the good qualities, Bhagavati Akinchana, that word. So Samasta Sura, even though they have, possess, even from very low class family, but if they engage in devotional service, they get the qualities of demigod, right? That was there. No? So similarly, a soul is having so much power to, purify the whole place. That is why, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. So the devotees are going to Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati to purify the Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. So they are not going to get purified. The Prabhupada also went to Kumbh Mela, but he just went to Kumbh Mela to help, help the holy rivers, because they are suffering too much of the sinful reactions of this common public. So Prabhupada went and took a dip, and then he purified all the nati. You see, so that is how the devotee's power. The place is very purified. Next.
My dear Prahlad, king of Daitya, because of being attached to devotional service to me, my devotee does not distinguish between lower and higher living entities. In all respect, he is never jealous of anyone.
So this is actually having a equipoised vision. This also yesterday when Vishwamitra was giving class, it was also explained as one of the qualities. So the devotee is having a equal vision. Okay, let me show that to you. The point is, anyway, I think let's not spend time, which is mentioned, like a second chapter. When yesterday we were discussing that he's having equal vision of, so you don't have a samadrishti, he's having a samadrishti, equal vision he's having. So they don't have any partiality, just like Brahman, just like Krishna. The devotees are also not having any difference between like this person and that person, because they are not envious of anybody, because we have nothing to envy at anybody in this material world, because this is not our business. Suppose you are going in a train to some place, and then you have so much of co-passengers with you, and then you don't need to help somebody else financial questions. If somebody is having some loan, you don't commit him that okay, I'll set you a loan. Say that, because even though they are with you, but you have nothing to envy, nothing to take something from them. They're just co-passengers. Similarly, in this material world, also you understand that your family members and everybody just co-passengers. They are just traveling with you. That's it. Nothing more than that. So you should not have more than that kind of vision. That's why the devotees equal visions at everybody. They respect everybody, and they don't be envious of anybody. They don't jealous of anybody. Next. Somebody else can read? Who else want to read? Anybody else is there?
Not again.
Tell.
Those who follow your example will naturally become my pure devotees. You are the best example of my devotees, and others should follow in your footsteps.
So this is the best credit. Siddhanta said that do not try to see the God. You do such a way that Krishna comes to sleep. So what can be the more credit to you other than the Lord himself is saying that Prahlad, you are the best devotee of mine. You are the best devotee. The same thing also the Lord told to Dhruva Maharaj that nobody saw me this much in a short term. Nobody also can see me in the future also. You are the only one who saw me in a very short duration of time. So how much the Lord is giving credit, how much the Lord is, so happy and glorifying his devotees. Because the Lord has nothing to envy anybody. He just so happily is, glorifying his devotees. He's saying that anybody, who is following your footstep, and they will also become a pure devotee. So this is actually anyone who is following the footsteps of Prahlad Maharaj, they also can become pure devotee. Right? Because Prahlad Maharaj is the best devotee. So since Prahlad Maharaj is the best devotee, everybody should follow his footsteps. Next.
My dear child, your father has already been purified just by touch of my body at the time of his death. Nonetheless, the duty of a son is to perform the Shraddha, ritualistic ceremony after his father's death, so that his father may be promoted to the planetary system where he may become a good citizen and devotee.
Okay, here, one may get a doubt that why the Lord is asking him to perform Shraddha ceremony. No, he is suddenly liberated, the devotee should stay away from all this kind of karma kanda reactions. Why the Lord is encouraging Prahlad Maharaj to do karma kanda ritual because he's a king. Yadyadacharati shrestha tat tat eva tanu janaihi. Whatever he does, the common people are following. And he is a king of a demons actually. So if a king of a demon is not doing this Vedic ritualistic ceremony, then how the citizens will follow? That's why just to follow the example, that's why Ashwina is saying, Prahlad, the father is already liberated because my body touched him. So there is no point of his getting promoted to higher planets. But still, you perform. Next.
After performing the ritualistic ceremonies, take charge of your father's kingdom, sit upon the throne, and do not be disturbed by materialistic activities. Please keep your mind fixed upon me without transgressing the injunctions of the Vedas. As a matter of formality, you may perform your particular duties.
Okay, so we'll stop with this. I think there are more, like because those things are not related to Prahlad Maharaj, to Brahma, and so all the Devatas will talk to him, and Lord will also. So, but we'll stop here. We don't have much time. So, this is a very interesting portion because this is actually the conclusion of this Prahlad Narasimha part. How the Lord is reciprocating to the devotee. He's saying that you are the best devotee. Anybody following your footsteps, they will also become devotee. So you have to take this very serious, and then we should preach like Prahlad Maharaj. We should be brave like Prahlad Maharaj. We should be fearless like Prahlad Maharaj. And then we should always be Krishna conscious like Prahlad Maharaj. And then we should always be not worried about the material conditionings or material criteria like Prahlad Maharaj. And then you should always be aspiring for the protection of Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj. Right? You should always be dependent on Prahlad Maharaj. You should always be merciful like Prahlad Maharaj. Right? These are the wonderful qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. So we'll conclude, with this. So thank you very much for everyone who has given the opportunity for me to speak. So if anybody have any questions on this or you want to add something, please feel free. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very nicely explained.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, may I say something?
Yes, Prabhu, please carry on.
Today, your speech really inspired me, very deeply. And I think I'll start also watching your own lectures now. I want to see more of your speeches, more of your lectures on YouTube. So kindly bestow us with more knowledge, please, Prabhu. It would be it would be really, I would be really thankful if you keep constantly giving us lectures and this knowledge, because I've noticed that especially your speeches have really had a profound effect on my consciousness already. And it is only thanks to you that, I'm growing as a devotee, and I would just continue to grow in your association. So kindly accept my most humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Just the instrument in the hand of the Prabhupada. If something has benefited you, I'm very much happy for that. Thanks for inspiring me with your nice teachings also, all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Drona Prabhu, Dharani Prabhu. So much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I mean,
who is this?
I want to ask you doubts, Prabhu. Can I?
Drona Prabhu, who is this? Yes, carry on. Yes, Prabhu.
I don't know, Prabhu. I mean, what is happening with me? Since last week, I'm facing so many health issues, Prabhu. I'm not able to chant at morning, but since 3 days, I'm coming at morning. Why this happens, Prabhu? Health issues are coming, Prabhu, so much, and I'm experiencing so many paranormal activities. I could not understand what is happening with me. And today morning, while chanting, also, I saw something. I mean, I saw some ghost like something, Prabhu, in my house. I am so much scared. And while chanting, also, I'm just keeping Narasimha Dev Aarti in when TV, and I will just continue to hearing Narasimha Dev Aarti continuously for until I complete my 11 rounds. Yeah, bro.
Okay, see, the health issues are concerned is a common thing for everybody. Like if you are not sick, if you get sick, if you cannot come for 2 3 days morning program, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Don't worry so much about that. But of course, we still uh, and force everyone, even though you're not feeling well, you just come and take the darshan and go and stand at least one round. We say like that, but still it is okay. You're not well, and then tolerate for some days, and then you start again. That is okay because anybody who get this body has to go through like birth, death, old age, disease. It's inevitable. So you don't need to get disturbed with this because that happens to everybody. That is why that 10th canto on prayer is there now. Like anybody who got this, suffering is past mistake, right? There is a verse. You have to patient, you have to tolerate past misdeeds that one goes through. What is the verse? Who remember that?
Prabhu, I don't know, but I'm continuously seeing that thing in my house, Prabhu. And even I experience sleep paralysis sometimes. And today morning, while I was chanting loudly, I hear some what will say. I just saw the shadow of that. I don't know what is this happening, Prabhu.
So I think, see, there are so many living entities around you, and they are not going to disturb you. See, like you don't need to get worried. Just like you see dogs and cats. Sometimes you see ghosts. Yeah. And I'm fortunate that I don't see anything like that. No, but some devotees they can see. Sundar Gopal Prabhu can see, and Nimai Prabhu can see, and my wife also can see, and some devotees can see this ghost. But I don't see any ghosts. But still, of course, it's disturbing. When you get the 10, 14, 8, that is over. You can read this one, Drona Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, 1 second, Prabhu. My dear Lord, one who Ernest waits for you to bestow your curious mercy upon him, all while patiently suffering the reactions of his past mistakes, offering you the respect obeisances with his heart, words, and body is surely eligible for liberation, for it has to be become his rightful claim.
Yeah, so the past misdeeds cannot be avoided because if you take birth in this world, you need to go through some things. So you cannot escape from this, right? Uh, there is also one prayer by Prahlad Maharaj, Sukam Maitendriya Kadeta Daityat Deha Yogena Dekina Sarvatra Abhyate Devat Yatha Sukam Ayatnataha 763 of Bhagavatam you can show 763 of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhu. Prahlad Maharaj continued, "My dear friends, born of a demonic families, the happiness prescribed with reference to sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any life or form. According to our past future activities, such happiness automatically obtained without any endeavors. Just as we obtain distress."
So just like you get happiness, you also get distress. Like got some happiness. If you get happiness, you also get distress. You cannot, happy when you get happiness and worry when you get, distress. That is why Krishna is saying you should go beyond the duality.
Yes,
Dvandva mohena bharata. You should go beyond it. So when you are sick, you just go through it. And then when you are sick, if you cannot chant on the beats, you chant with your mouth, or you hear the lectures, or you hear the books, or you think about Krishna. Somehow you try to, of course, like the point is that chanting is not only on the beats, like even the cooking is chanting, watching is chanting, talking is chanting, everything connected to Krishna is chanting. So if you cannot physically do something, you do with your mind. Then once you're okay, you try to start from, go back to the normal life. And about seeing the ghost and all, you just try to understand they are just another living entities like us. They are just that devoid of the body. So you don't need to get disturbed or panic with this. And then even if you see them, like Sundar Gopal Prabhu, when in Singapore temple, he was sitting in the office He was sleeping in the office, and then he woke up, and then he saw a ghost. That was a girl, and then she was crying. She was crying in office. Sundar Gopal
Serious?
Prabhu, yeah, a ghost. She was sitting in front of Sundar Gopal Prabhu, and then she was crying. So Sundar Gopal Prabhu was asking, why you are crying? She preaching to ghost. Prabhu was preaching to a ghost. He was asking, why you are crying? And then, she was not saying anything. She was simply crying. And Sundar Gopal Prabhu said, you chant Hare Krishna. and then she was quiet. Then Prabhu again said, you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Then that was trying to say Hare Krishna, and then went back. I mean, you don't say go back to God, and I don't know what happened. But she left the office. She
Prabhu,
left the
I mean,
office. She chanted Hare Krishna. Yeah.
I mean, if even one when commits suicide, if I mean the person who committed suicide will chant Hare Krishna will get liberation, or he will get another chance to become human being to serve Lord.
Normally, those who committed suicide, they cannot go back. They have to suffer, and then then they will have a next life, and then they go back. That's why the Chota Haridas, like we did not. So we have to come again, get purified and come again.
Okay.
So you don't need to worry about all other things. Ghost, even if you see, just say Hare Krishna before or Namaste Narasimha. That's it. You
Yes,
want to
Prabhu.
protect yourself, say Namaste Narasimha. Nothing to worry. As long as health is concerned or any happiness is concerned, if you are in the material world and if you're having some material ambitions, and you are doomed to suffer. You cannot say that Prabhu, I jump inside the water, I cannot breathe. Right? Why you jump inside the water? Who asked you to jump inside the water? Why don't you be in the land? Right? You are a Krishna conscious entity, then why are you doing material activity? If you are a Krishna conscious entity, like if your Swadharma is to serve Krishna, why are you serving Tata, Infosys, Wipro Technologies, and IBM? Why you
Yes,
want to
Prabhu.
serve all these companies? No, Prabhu, I want money. So Krishna cannot give.
Krishna can
So,
give.
then if you are in the material concept of life, and if you're having a material ambitions to have a better college, better salary, and then, good looking wife, and then many children, many properties, if you're having material ambitions in life, then how do you expect happiness? Happiness is only for the devotees. Only for the devotees. So that is unalloyed devotees. Pure devotees only can be happy. The two kind of people in the world, they feel happy. One is a gross foolish, another one is a transcendentalist. The gross foolish is a crazy guy. Crazy guy always smiling. Whether you strip him naked or you whatever you do to him, whether you pass too on him, whatever, he's always happy and smiling. Crazy guy, mental case. But another one is transcendentalist, like Rishabhadev. He was naked, he was rolling on his own stool, and then he was always, Nam Brahma Bhuta Prasannaatma Nasochiti Na Kamnati. So, Sama Sarva Bhudeshu, Mad Bhakti Nabate Para. So, Brahma Bhuta, pure devotee, they also always have. So, if you want to be happy, either you should be a crazy guy or a devotee. If you are a crazy guy and feeling happiness, you are cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself. But if you become a transcendental person happy, then you are going back to God. So what I'm telling you is that if you are in the material world, if you have material ambitions, and be prepared for distress. Be prepared for distress. By chanting Hare Krishna mantra, by devotional service, you can decrease the distress. That's it. You cannot completely go out of the distress. That's only possible by unconditional surrender to Krishna. My dear Lord, I surrendered myself to you. Then you are completely happy. Otherwise, even though you got a Krishna conscious life, even though you got a job and donating to the temple or whatever it may be, still you need to go through the reactions.
Again, Prabhu, not in this house, bro. Not in this, in my home, Prabhu. Even though whenever I go outside or whenever I go the places which are abandoned for so much time. I can feel their preference. I mean, even at my college, even at my friend's house, even my house. I mean, besides my house, beside my apartment, Prabhu, there is big smashan. What will say graveyard there, Prabhu. I mean, I can feel their preference. Graveyard.
Mm. Yeah.
I can. Yes, Prabhu. I can feel their preference, but I don't know because of them or I'm getting health issues or because of material body. I'm confused.
Yeah, because the material consciousness, because the devotees don't see any difference. But of course, we are not pure devotee. We are not pure devotee. That is why we see the differences. So you aspire towards self surrender, full surrender to Krishna. Atma Nivedanam. You work on that. Don't
Yes,
have any material plans and material goals, material goals. You have it, you cannot avoid it. So some ghosts are, the problem is that the ghosts are devoid of the body. Sometimes they try to conquer your body to enjoy their demands. Because they also want to eat, they also want to talk, they also want to desire, but they have no body to express it. That's why they're looking for some weak people to occupy the body. Right? So as Ruvish Prabhu say, and because of that, you may also get some disease and you get some problems, and so that's also possible. That is why we always keep the body and the mind very pure. Like chant Hare Krishna and take bath. And then that's why the elder people say that don't sleep in front of the toilet and don't sleep in front of the door. Right? And then don't cut the nails during Sandhya time. Don't shave during Sandhya time. Don't eat, sleep during Sandhya time. Don't have sex during Sandhya time. So there are so many rules and regulations are there to keep your body and mind clean. Yeah. Don't get disturbed with the small disturbances. You're doing good. Your Srimade Prahlad Maharaj came out very beautifully. They are very wonderful features. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the drawing aspect. I'm saying the face. The face is very peaceful and very merciful. Prahlad Maharaj is very peaceful and Narasimha's face is very merciful. Right? So his blessings are there with you. Don't worry. Give up the weakness, as Krishna is saying. So this weakness is not for devotees. Arise, go about that. Yeah.
And again, Prabhu, I'm feeling somewhat more attracted towards senses, Prabhu. I mean, how can I overcome it, Prabhu?
Sorry?
Since 2 weeks or 1.5 week, I'm feeling more attracted towards senses.
So where are you?
At my home, Prabhu.
Among the sense enjoyers, right? What do
Yes,
you
Prabhu.
expect? What do you expect? If you
Yes,
are in a
Prabhu.
wine shop, if you are liquor shop, you want to drink only one. And if you are among all the beautiful prostitutes, you tend to have sex now.
Yes, Prabhu.
If you look at the your Tollywood actress and Bollywood actress, what do you feel? You remember Radharani or Radhe or Lalita, Vishaka, right?
Yes,
Now what do
Prabhu.
you see? You look at their the breast and look at their hips and right. Yes. So when you are staying with the non-devotee, what do you expect? Ha hanta hanta vishapakshano api sadhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anyone who is aspiring for liberation, you should not stay with the materialistic people. Right? Of course, I always quote this verse, You know the verse, right?
I don't know, Prabhu.
This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Madhilila 11.8. Madhilila 11.8. Yeah. Read this.
Yes, Prabhu. greatly lamenting the gods, then informed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, alas, for a person who is seriously desiring to cross a material ocean and engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord without material motives, seeking a material engagement in the sense gratification or seeing a woman with similar interested mode abandonable than drinking poison willingly.
So when you are dealing with the materialistic people engaged in sense gratification, you also develop to desire to have sense enjoyment, no?
Yes, bro.
That's why the more and more you stay with the non-devotees, it is very, 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 very dangerous. That's why you see even our Varun Prabhu, you see, his parents are devotees. But still now he's staying in the temple, he is so happy. Even though they are devotees, the difference is there. Even though they are devotees, staying in the temple and staying among the liberated or aspiring to be liberated people. It's not the same. So you stay in the house and then Prabhu, my sense enjoyment, desire is increasing. I mean, like, what to, it cannot, how is it possible, Prabhu? Right?
Yes,
The only way is to come out of it. Come out of it. If you come out of your material life. Otherwise, you cannot complain. Yes, what do you do? What is that? What are you saying? What is the question, Prabhu?
One Q&A session, yeah. So one Q&A session, someone asked this question. While I'm addicted to these kinds of sinful activities, how do I stop them? Chaturdashi Prabhu simply replied, just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes, bro. Actually, in one AMAM session also, Prabhu actually replied. Of course, that question was even worse. Actually, I don't even know how I can say it here, but that person was very much.
I think we're talking about
Same
the
one,
same.
huh? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So Prabhu was like very, like, he gave big answer. Usually Prabhu does not give so big, but Prabhu said, you sincerely come attend all the classes. You don't have any other job. You just come here, sit all the classes here, 3 hours, 4 hours, here full time. Then you chant your rounds. Then you keep on associating with devotees. Then you'll become first class boy. So like this Prabhu said. So yeah, I mean, this is what Tatul Prabhu exact reply.
Ask me anything Mondays or something. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes, is it okay, Drona Prabhu?
Yes,
you understand?
Yes, bro.
Okay, then I can see one question from Dharani Prabhu. Is he there? Yeah, he's there. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu. After completing our 16 rounds, can we do Upanashu? What is Upanashu? Upanashu Japa in mind. Japa Prabhu. What is Upanashu Japa? I don't understand the question. Can you type it clearly? Or somebody can explain the question?
Actually, Dharani Prabhu is saying that after completing our rounds, we can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, not loudly, but inside our mind, Prabhu.
What is Upanashu means? What is
Upanashu means like in a soft whisper, Upanashu means soft whisper, according to a quick Google search.
You can always do it, yeah, always, Sada Hari Bole Rako, Vadana Hari Nam Koro. Always you chant. Yes, no problem. It's not no problem, that is very good. Very good to do that. But not just japa, you can also engage in other activities like teaching or book distribution or editing or typing or making presentations or calling some devotee and preaching. So, reading books or explaining your friends about Krishna consciousness, or you cook for Krishna or take the sadham, all these are chanting on it. So don't go into the bewilderment thinking that this is only chanting, other things are not chanting. Yeah. Real chanting is after 16 rounds. Understand? The real chanting is after 16 rounds. That is becoming duty bound and serving Krishna. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying the servant is actually, ahipati apratiyata, costless, and then unmotivatedly serving Krishna. But the real chanting is after that 16 rounds of chanting. You can always do within your mind, or you can softly you can do, or can do other devotional services as well. Other preaching also he can do. Whatever. Anything else in this chat? Any question first of all?
I don't think.
Okay, so
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah,
if
but Prabhu, there
anybody
is
has,
just
yeah,
there
sorry.
is one special event, Prabhu. I mean, like not special
Okay.
event, but special announcement. So is it okay if we can do it now? It'll only take some 2-3
carry on,
minutes.
carry on.
Okay, this was top secret until now. Okay, so Patita Pavan Prabhu, are you here right now? Oh, Krishna.
Yes.
Right moment, Prabhu. Oh,
Yes,
you're there.
Is there?
Thank you. Very well. Okay, Prabhu. So, Luesh Prabhu, you can enable Patita Pavan Prabhu's screen sharing and he can share something.
Okay. I think. Okay.
I think that they're going to get a big check for temple building project, few crores.
Then we can postpone this announcement.
I think everyone can share this.
A big donation from Pune is coming up.
Very well. Yeah, so Patita Pavan Prabhu, you can just pick the first link of our server, and then based on that, I will just explain a few things based on our server, and then I'll request you to click on a few documents from there.
Shall I click?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes. Yeah, you can click on that. Right, stop. Okay, so yeah, so basically, just about one and a half months ago, if my memory is not failing me, Prahlad Prabhu mentioned that we can have a Hare Krishna League repository, so wherein we can store all of our like presentations or even our artwork and so on and so forth, so that in the future, if there's anyone else who wants to come and refer, then they can do so. So saving for the future basically, or like a document database. So by Pranjal Prabhu's great help, as well as Patita Pavan Prabhu's consistent uploads of whatever was done in the Ishtagoshti, we were able to, by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Srila Prabhupada, we were able to do this. So, yeah, I'll just give you a small demo. So, for example, Prabhu, could you click on the art? Yes. So, if you can see, we have many paintings here. So, by Drona Prabhu, Dipanshu Prabhu, Veron Prabhu. And we've scheduled them as like Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. So whichever picture you want to see, if you want to see, like, for example, Narasimha Dev, then you can see the title and easily click on it. For example, this one was Drona Prabhu's last week's Narasimha Dev presentation. And any other picture, Prabhu? Yes. This is by Drona Prabhu many weeks back, actually, nearly 1 month ago during Ram Navami. Yeah, you can click the one by Veron Prabhu. Yes. So this is by Veron Prabhu again. So all of this we have stored very nicely in our database and anybody can view it. So this is a public server. So anyone who gets the link, which we'll be updating soon after maybe a few small changes, we'll update it in our WhatsApp as well as Telegram groups. And anyone who wants to click on these links are able to view these PDFs as well as artwork very easily. But they cannot edit, but they can nicely view. Now, you could go to the documents, Prabhu. So the PDFs or PPTs. So because many of the devotees, they've been asking, like, for example, even Patita Pavan Prabhu, he was very like enthusiastic to make the presentation. And Prabhu wanted a few examples. So we've stored these examples. So in the future, if anyone wants to make a PPT or wants to present, they can have like a rough idea. Generally, they can have an idea. Oh, we have to make it like this, or we can take an example or a reference. So you can click anyone, Prabhu. Yeah, body or soul. This one was by, I believe, Luvesh Prabhu. So you can see it's in the PPT, not PPT, PDF like type. And you can see it's very nicely stored. Anybody can view it. And if anyone wants to present or anyone wants to share to his or her friends, or even in sometimes university, they allow, religious presentations based on a scientific basis. So we have all of this stored, you see. And at the end of every presentation, we also made sure to add one thing as a constant. We made sure to add the resources. So you could go to the end, Prabhu. So anybody who wants to actually research or study on this topic also, simply by going to the references page, and clicking on a few links, they can get complete access. They don't need to individually search and type or look at the sloka book and try to find out verses or whatever. No, they can just come here. They can just check our links, which are posted by the devotees. They can just click on it, open tabs, and then they can have a perfect understanding based on Srila Prabhupada's books and lectures, conversations, etc. Yeah, just as Prabhu clicked and it went to the other page. So you could go to another presentation as well, Prabhu. Any other presentation as well. 1 or 2 presentations more we'll do. We can show actually to see the varieties. Yes, so life comes from life as well. So this was also a presentation which was done. And yeah, so this is also a standard so that we can have a lot of pictures as well as theory put together. And even again, if you go to the end, Prabhu, you can go to the end of the presentation. Yeah. So over here at the end as well, all the resources have been added. And not only resources of Prabhupada books or from where we got these points, but also the pictures. For example, in the future, if anyone wants to print out certain pictures from Back to Godhead magazine or so on and so forth, they can always come here and do this. And we can show one more presentation. What do you say, Prabhu? One more presentation.
Okay.
Anyone which you, yeah, anyone which you.
Which one do you want?
We could do importance of hearing and chanting by, okay, this one also we could do. Rama and Katha. Yeah, okay, we could do importance of hearing and chanting. Okay, now that's okay. Yeah, so here also, you see, Ramayana is also very difficult. You cannot find sources online. Very difficult to find the original Valmiki Ramayana. But somehow we found it, and Luvesh Prabhu has also done this presentation along with the pictures. Even these pictures are also very rare. So I kind of request all the devotees, whoever wants to present in the future, or maybe they want to maybe learn on some topics, or they just want to, they have some time and they just want to see what all their God brothers have been doing as well. They can just click on these our server and then they can view all of this. So this is the starting of Hare Krishna League repository. More will be added, and Krishna willing, by the next month we'll have much more documents. Yeah, so this is just a small update.
Yeah, also
And-
tips for presentation.
Awesome, wonderful, Prabhu.
And just one more thing, Prabhu. And I remember actually, we were a little bit scared. Actually, we did not know how to present properly. So we wanted to ask KC Prabhu, because KC Prabhu, he gave an amazing, his style of presenting is very different. It's very much unique. So I just messaged KC Prabhu and I asked Prabhu, could you give us a few tips on how we can actually present to make the person hearing feel very enlivened and very, interesting we could make it. And Prabhu gave a huge list. Actually, he gave some 6 or 7 points. And actually, these points are very wonderful. So we've saved them actually over here. And this is one of the main highlights, because this is like the basis for any kind of presentations or just oral communication, not oral karmi communication, but if you want to speak about Krishna or think about Krishna, whatever, all of these tips can be useful. So yeah, so we've stored them as well. So yeah, yes, Prabhu. So this is as of now, but in the future, Krishna willing, can add more, Prabhu.
Okay, good, Prabhu. Very nice. I think we should create the documents, try to create some subfolders on the philosophy, like self-realization, or this, like this kind of subtitles you can create in this,
Okay.
because there are so many documents.
Yeah.
So like very difficult to, you can say that Itikasas, then you put Ramayana, Mahabharata, or like something like that. You can create some subfolders so it is easy to navigate.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very nice. Yeah, okay. So who is managing this? Yeah, what is the website? He's asking. Yeah, how are you going to advertise this website?
This is a link we will provide in the group.
Yeah, this is a link, Prabhu. After few changes, we will just provide in the group. So as of now,
we can put this in our ISKM Pondicherry website, right?
Yes, Prabhu, we can put, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Yes, Prabhu. Originally, the plan was that our Pondicherry website gets fully built, and after that we can put.
Correct. For now, it can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, so yeah, we'll make the subtopics as well. So Patita Pawan Prabhu has been doing this. So actually, I have to thank Patita Pawan Prabhu along with Pranjal Prabhu. Pranjal Prabhu is responsible for the technical side. Patita Pawan Prabhu has been consistently filling. So whoever is uploading the Ishtagoshti, uh, not uploading, whoever is updating on the Ishtagoshti presentations, Prabhu just notes it down and he updates it within 1 or 2 days. So yes, Prabhu.
One more thing I want to add for today's presentation. Can I say?
Carry on.
Prabhu, while we were preparing for this presentation, we didn't know much about it. And when we started reading, we got through so much knowledge from reading actually. So even when you see Inakasubu, when his brother got killed, he was talking philosophy. Even though he was a demon, he was still talking philosophy to his mother, his brother's wife. So much we escaped from the presentation because otherwise it would keep on uh, keep on going on for a very long time. That's why we skip so much things. So, Gyan Prabhu wanted to encourage devotees to read about this pastime more from Bhagavatam so they can learn more. So, yeah, he wanted to encourage everyone to read.
Yes.
So we couldn't keep all the things in the presentation.
Yes.
So thank you
Yeah,
for
it's very nice. He's explaining the mother and relatives. Just like a preacher is giving the point of view.
yeah, and then Yamraj and other story.
Okay, good. So, Karthik Prabhu, anything else?
No, Prabhu, that's it, Prabhu. This is the
Actually,
last section.
something is there. Something is there. Actually, I wanted to explain about one thing. Okay, very interesting. First, this was shown to me by Sham going to. Can you link open this, Samito? It's a very nice prayer very nice song, bhajan by Bhaktivinoda Thakur about Lord Narasimha. So many people, I was not aware of this. Recently only it came to know. So this song nicely explains what should be the attitude of a devotee towards. I think Karthik, you were there that day when you were doing this bhajan, no?
No,
Narasimha
Prabhu, but
Chaturdashi.
Shamagan Prabhu explained to me privately about this.
Oh, but you are Narasimha. You came evening only, huh? Narasimha Jayanti. It happened in the
Yes,
morning.
Prabhu.
Morning Bhagavatam
Yes,
class.
Prabhu.
We sang this song. So this
Yes.
song very nicely explains about the attitude of a devotee towards Lord Narasimha. Because 18th chapter, 65th verse, Prabhupada saying that one should not get attachment towards even other forms of Krishna, right? But we are worshipping Krishna and Narasimha simultaneously. We are singing Jaya Radha Madhava, we are also singing Namaste Narasimha. So it should not overlap because it is such rasabas. This is a different dress, Narasimha different dress and the Krishna different dress. So we should understand Narasimha Dev, worship Narasimha Dev such a way that it should not practically affect our Madhurya Bhav. So this is a very wonderful bhajan where Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains how our mood should be towards Narasimha Dev. So let us read these only 5 paragraphs. Maybe we can read these 5 paragraphs and then we can conclude today's session.
So actually,
Yes,
we
Prabhu.
have the whole Kirtan recording.
Yeah, the whole Kirtan recording. Okay, good. Fine, you can read the translation now, for now. First paragraph, who want to read?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Okay, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written 5 beautiful prayers in Sri Navadvipa and Nava Taranga for receiving the mercy of Lord Narasimha. These prayers are certainly assurance to all sincere devotees that the worship of Lord Narasimha is purely in the line of aspiring love and devotion to Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Those prayers are as follows.
First paragraph, you want to read? Somebody carry on, please. Make it fast.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Within my sinful heart, the six enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunning. At the lotus feet of Lord Narasimha, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desires to serve Lord Krishna.
That is the first prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is seeking the help of Lord Narasimha to remove the anarthas from his heart. Okay, so since he is killing all the demons, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that there are some demons in my heart also. Please kill all those demons. Yes, next.
Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of
No,
Lord
no. One paragraph before. Finished? Yeah? Sorry. Okay, weeping. Sorry.
Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Narasimha for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy?
So there is something called rasabhas. So rasabhas means that two rasas cannot actually overlap. For example, you cannot have what is that madhurya affection towards your parents, right?
Yes.
Is it possible to have some madhurya towards your parents? Not possible, right? So similarly, Narasimha is in different dasya, and Radha Krishna is in different. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is putting it such a way that these two things can be together. He is talking about Narasimhadev. He's also talking about Radha Krishna, then talking about Navadvip also. So how nicely, I was telling Sham Govind Prabhu, this is going to the edge of Rasabhas. It's just standing on the boundary but not crossing the boundary. Bhaktivinoda Thakur composed this song such a way that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is very expert in that. Even the song that Vibhavari Sesha, Aloga Pravesha, Drachari Udro Jiva. That you sing that Ravana Takara Makana Ravana Taskara Makana Chakra. So he's saying that you kill Ravan, you stole butter. See, even two different rasas. You killing demon is different and eating butter is different. How can a devotee poet he can put these two things together? Ravana Takara, what is that? Makana? Makana. Yes. Ravana Taskara, is it?
No, Ravanantakara. Prabhu.
Ravanantakara. And then
Makhana
Takara.
Then Gopijana Vastrahari.
Gopijana Vastrahari. These three things are different bhav. All the three things are different rasas. But he's so expert that he's putting all these three things together, but there is no rasabhas. Killing Ravana is different, and stealing butter is different, and taking Gopi's dress is different. See, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so expert in dealing these rasas so nicely. Similarly, here also is going to the verge of rasa, and then the boundary is standing on the boundary, but he is not crossing it. He is saying that, my dear Lord Narasimha, give me the benediction of worshipping. So he is asking Narasimha to give the benediction to worship Radha Krishna. Yeah, so we are not worshipping Narasimha parallel to Radha Krishna. We are worshipping Narasimha to give us mercy to worship Radha Krishna. So that whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy. Next, third paragraph. Who want to read?
Even though Lord Narasimha is terrifying to the simple souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless?
Next.
he will say, "Dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham.
You see,
May you
I mean,
nice."
how to understand this, you know, what kind of composing it is, how to understand this? Narasimha is telling, my dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham. How to understand this? I mean, I said Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I mean, one of the very unique song, carry on.
Yes, Prabhu.
Carry on. May you? No, we didn't
Yes.
complete yet. Didn't complete the paragraph yet.
Yes.
Go up.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, okay. Okay, dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dhama. May you nicely worship the divine couple and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar.
That is why, we should not go too much on Narasimha worship, thinking that, like setting up some thousand, Yagapeeth, and then you chant Swaha, Swaha. This is not our thing. Like all ISKCON people, all Narasimha Yajna, this Yajna, there are so many things. This is not the thing. We just worship Narasimha. Narasimha, please give me, Madhurya. Madhurya Bhav, just give me Radha Krishna worship. That is actually the whole purpose of Narasimha worship. We should not make a parallel Narasimha worship, Radha Krishna worship. Yeah, next.
Yes, bro. So please scroll. Yeah, okay. Saying this, will that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head. I will experience sublime love for the divine couple Radha Krishna and undergo the ecstatic transformations called Satvika. Falling on the ground, I will roll about at the door of Sri Narasimha's temple. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Navadvip Pavat Taranga.
Jai Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Navadvip Bhava Taranga ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Narasimha Chaturdashi Mahotsava ki jai.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
So thanks again for coming today.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
Hare
So I think I'll be talking to Louis Prabhu, so others can leave. Let the chat be on.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Anandakoti Vaishnavebhyo Jai Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Very nice.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for your institution. All glory.
Nicely presented. All glories to Karthi Prabhu for organizing it. Nice coordination by Karthi Prabhu. Whole event nicely coordinated and supported by all of you, Louis Prabhu and Sami Prabhu and all of you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
His Excellency. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Very good.
Prabhu, live is going on. Can cut it.
So others can leave.